Okay, I think I'm streaming. I'm surprisingly not the first to my stream. Alright, looks like we just did that. So, welcome in, Chan the Magic Man. Welcome in, Felden Kane. Let me double check my audio because I always like to know that my audio is working. I always like to know that my audio is working. I can hear myself. That's a good. Alright, so. Alright, let's see here. Pillbilly, welcome in. SRS is hold on, let me go to my reauthorization. Following platform is lost with missing scope. Well, okay, I figured out why. Let me connect. Uh check if a user creates alright. Authorize. StreamerSonglist. Durkey Blaine, welcome in. How's it going? Alright. I just reauthorized. Oh, look. There we go. Awesome. Chan, thank you for the QA. All right. So, welcome in, Chan the Magic Man, Felden Kane, Durkey Blaine, Pillbilly. How's it going? Just pulled into work, unfortunately. Durkey Blaine, I totally understand. Definitely working for a living. I won't be able to use this excuse forever, but I don't know what that's like right now. Sorry. I yeah, still unemployed. Felden Kane says, "Hi, good to see you all." Yeah, glad to see everybody. All right. Well, I haven't gotten ready yet. So if you're here this early in the stream, you get to see me put on cheating gloves. If you know what cheating gloves are, it's sort quick. So, but anyway, how's everybody? So I am not really celebrating anything specific, but there are many Asian cultures that are celebrating the Mid-Autumn Festival starting earlier this week, I think. So there we are. So happy mid-autumn if anybody celebrates. But Chan, thank you for opening the trick list and thank you for pinning it. If anybody wants to request anything, I mean, uh, the queue is open. I haven't even warmed up yet. This is how early you guys got here. Sort quick. There we go. Chris Cox, welcome in. If anybody didn't know, Chris Cox, the L is silent. So, um, all right. While we are here, and while the sort quick actually sets into my fingers, let's go ahead and shout everybody out. Guys, you're not following our friend and mod, Chan the Magic Man. Please give Chan the Magic Man a follow. Chan the Magic Man, one of the other few magicians that has regular magic schedule. Chan the Magic Man also streams a bunch of other things throughout the week, but if you follow him, catch him on Mondays, and he does Magic Mondays. If you catch him other times, he might be playing retro games, community games, uh, lately sometimes cooking, in real life stuff. So Chan does it all. um, let's see here. You guys are not following our friend Durkey Blaine. Please give Durkey Blaine a follow. Durkey Blaine, fellow magician, but streams variety games. So definitely give our friend Durkey Blaine a follow. Guys, if you're not following our friend Felden Kane, fellow fan of Magic, but Felden Kane has been streaming variety games. But last one I caught was a Final Fantasy VII remake stream. So definitely give our friend Felden Kane a follow. If you're not following our friend Chris Cox, definitely give Chris Cox a follow. I'm actually not sure if I've caught a Chris Cox stream. Uh, Certainly not lately. If I have, so Chris Cox says Chan 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 Chan. Sorry. I need to say that like it's an air horn, right? Chan 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 Chan. Is that the way you meant it, Chris? Oh, hold on. I might have to quiet down because my kid is sleeping. Hold on. Let me check the. I have I have the baby monitor. She's not a baby anymore. That Chan 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 might have been too loud. All right. I'm trying to at least keep it down a little bit longer before I wake her up again. Presumably if it was me. Sorry, I got too excited at the potential air horn. Thanks for the shout out, sir. Oh, you're welcome, Felden Kane. That was perfect, says Chris Cox. I read it as a Chan. Oh, as a chant. Chan, 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 Chan. You know, if we all changed our names to Chan, then we could be like, one of us, one of us, right? Barney of the Rubble, welcome in. How's it going? Enter Sandman. Yeah, my apologies. Don't have Enter Sandman. All right. One of us is Felden Kane. I want to say Felden's Kane, but Charlie's Beats, welcome in. How's it going? Guys are not following our friend Charlie's Beats. Charlie's Beats has been known to stream before, but may one day stream again. But musician, gamer, composer, producer. All right, so we should do. All right, hold on. Let me make sure my fingers are all good here. All right. Sorry, in my mind, Chan 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 Chan. I'm not gonna forget that now. All right, here we go. Here's Gibson Sus Eyes, and then. Oh, I think I just gave that away. That's okay. That's good. We messed that one up like literally almost every stream. So, okay. Regular eyes to sus eyes. Okay, that one looked better. I gotta make the mouth match, right? Okay. Oh, and then we've got let's see. Hold on. Let me see how this is gonna look. This may not look that good. Hold on. So go from this sus eyes to it's weird that my finger is in the mouth, I guess. There's not really anywhere else to grip the card though, so. Alright, so let's see here. It appears as though Barney of the Rubble has requested oily mountains, watery swamps. Alright, we could do that. So we'll do that, and then I'll make sure to use Magic the Gathering cards, because actually I know that there's a few people in chat who are like, alright, Magic the Gathering cards. But we do have a request. We'll start with Revolver. But anyway, how's everybody doing this weekend? Hopefully everybody's doing well. I had a busy week, and it is still busy. So there we are. Okay, how do I want to do this? Very carefully. Uh, Let's see. Chan says, in 3 minutes, ads coming up. All right, doing well. Just learned a new trick. Excellent, Chan. Hopefully you you enjoyed that trick, whatever trick you learned. Not sure if you'll be performing it soon, but usually when I learn a new trick, I basically make a performance right away. Otherwise, it doesn't really stick. Okay, all right. Let's see if I could just race this. So, all right. First trick is revolver. Okay, so we're gonna need. Let's see. You know what? Let's use the diamonds. So ace, 2, 3, and then 4. Okay. So let's go ahead and grab the 4 ace, 2, 3, and 4. All right. So let's see. First things first, we are going to go ahead and fire off our first bullet. It's going to be the ace. So let's go ahead and make our finger gun, and then we're going to go bang. So now we have a 3, 2, 4, and it has turned itself face down. Now let's go. Whoa! There we go. Chan got the bang in. Chang, I said Chan. Chan got the bang in. Sorry. All right, now let's go ahead and shoot off our second one. Here we go. Bang. And now the 2 should be face down. Sorry, Chan. I combined, so I said Chan and bang, but I combined them. Chant, chant, bang, bang. All right, so now the 2 is face down. All right, here we go. Now let's go ahead and fire off the third bullet. 3. There we go. Chan got the third bullet in there. And now the fourth one. Bang. Oh, Chan got that one in just on time. Here we have the 2, the ace, the 4, and there's the 3. Now, importantly, what we have here is, I'll flip the 4 back over. So we've got the ace, the 2, the 3, and the 4. However, I don't know if you guys know, actually, it appeared as though all of the cards were red backed, but actually there were no bullets penetrating people. And so now if I show you, they're all blue backed. 1, 2, 3, 4. And actually not just these 4 cards, but that entire deck is also blue backed. And that, my friends, is probably the closest to the original revolver that I normally do. I almost never do the full deck version, but there we go. Thank you for clearing that, Chan. Alright. Let's... Hey! E-Room! Welcome in. Thanks for the bang. Ads? Alright, thank you for letting me know. I can see the announcement, so that's good. I should probably also put this up so I can see what the heck is going on. Also, when I'm watching my own stream, I don't see ads. So I get, is it because we're permanently subscribed to yourself? Is that it? What if I want to unsubscribe to myself? That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, E-Room, welcome in. How's it going? Guys are not following our friend E-Room. Please give E-Room a follow. E-Room, the Pope of Indiana, streamed a bunch of various different things, such as in real life stuff, opening Kinder eggs, community games. I tuned in recently to look at the Lego chess set that E-Room's trying to build, but also I watched E-Room trying to open a Kinder egg, trying to find Harry Potter stuff. So sorry that you got a duplicate, but it seems as though getting a duplicate is like the default, right? Because you're affiliated. Oh, okay. Is that the reason? Okay. Oh yeah, you can't be subscribed to somebody if they're not affiliated, right? Yeah, that makes sense. But anyway, so I'll wait for the ad break to be over, but let me know when back, and then we can set up for oil and water. Guys, if you're not, if you are not, if you've been sitting around, you've not hydrated for a bit, please feel free to hydrate. Tonight I'm having, it's a new tea. I hadn't mentioned it on stream yet, but I'm having blood orange. So it's an herbal tea that's flavored blood orange, and it's from this new tea company that I ordered from, and I'm like, wow, these are like good quality tea. So but anyway, let's see where we're. Let's go ahead and look for our swamps and mountains. Which one? Okay, hold on. We put the trick list put face up, but we don't have to do it face up. We could do, you know what? We'll do the whole thing. We'll do both of them. Okay. Alstro Art, welcome in. How's it going? Thank you kindly for the gigantic smile. How's it going, Alstro Art? Good to see you. Hopefully you're doing well. How was everybody's weekend? Mine was busy. Did spend a lot of time with the family. Did some not quite remodeling. What is it when you rearrange like furniture and things in your house? That's like, is it just called rearranging things in your house? Because that's what I did. Alstro Art says mine was too short. Uh, there are some people who would be like, weekends are too short. And then there are some people like me right now who are like, man, my current weekend has been going on for way too long. I've been on a weekend for basically 3 months. So, yeah. So anyway, that's where I'm at. Let's see. Next up, we have technically it was a request from Barney of the Rubble, but Barney specifically requested, and you know what? Barney's been around for a while, and I know there's people who would enjoy it, requesting a Magic the Gathering version of it. So that's what we're gonna do. All right. So first things first, we've got 4 swamps, 4 mountains. So for anybody who doesn't play Magic the Gathering, this is what the backs look like. And then here are the fronts. These happen to be land cards. The type of card doesn't really matter. It's just that for this particular reason, they're very easy to identify because they have this gigantic symbol. It's kind of like the pip on an ace, which is probably why I like using them. And so if it was like some other card with some other picture with like text, I mean, you wouldn't really be able to read it. So, but the ones with this red fireball down there, they say mountain on them. So they are all mountains. And I'm going to turn those 4 mountains face down over here. And then here I've got 4 swamps. They have this black skull. These are perfect for October because, it's going to be Halloween later at the end of this month. And I'm calling it Magic Month, even though really, like, Magic Day is really only Halloween, October 31st. So it doesn't really matter. But anyway, we're going to be performing a simulation of oil and water, and we're going to first intermix the cards. I'm just going to call them the color of mana that they create, not the actual, because if anybody's into Magic the Gathering, you know that lands are colorless. But anyway, so we're going to intermix these. So we have black and then red. Let's do that again. We have black and then red. Black, red, black, and red. Now we'll just give it a second for the simulation to occur, because if you really think about swamps really far down low, and then mountains are really up high. Let's take a quick peek at the bottom. That's a swamp, so that's sunken down to the bottom. Let's take a peek at the top. That's a mountain, and so all of the mountains have come up to the top. Because, peak of a mountain, all at the top. 2, 3, 4. And then, of course, we've got the 4 swamps at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can see by a lack of applause that was unimpressive, so let me go ahead and do that again. I'm going to leave the 4 mountains face down. Also hard. Thank you kindly for the claps. Chan the Magic Man knows what's coming up. E-Room's like, lol, 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 because E-Room probably also knows what's coming up. Let's do that again. Perhaps you thought that I had cheated last time because what Felden Gaines is. Is that Elmo Fire? Or is it, sorry, they can't use Elmo, right? It's Jinjin's Fire. So last time what happened was I turned the swamps, they sunk down to the bottom, and I had started with a swamp. So perhaps that is not going to be very impressive. Instead, I should start with a mountain. And so there's a mountain. Here's a swamp. Here's a mountain. Here's a swamp. Here's a mountain. And you know what? I'm going to just swamp, mountain, swamp. And we'll just let those work. So if you believe that quite literally I had placed the red mountain first, this should be a mountain. But if you believe in the simulation, the mountains should come up to the peak and the swamps should sink down to the bottom. And so let's take a look. So here, the top, at the tippy top, we have a mountain. And here at the bottom, we have a swamp. And then at the top, a mountain. Bottom, a swamp. Top, a mountain. Bottom, a swamp. Top, a mountain. Bottom, a swamp. And that, my friends, is oily water. Sorry. Is that what it? Yeah. Oily water and mountainy uh, oil. Man, I don't even remember which one's correct. And now we're just going to jump right into the face up version. Thanks for clearing that, Chan. Thank you kindly for the claps. E-Room, Elstro Art, Felden Gain, Chris Cox. Yes, magic. Oily mountains and watery swamps. Yes, that's it. That's exactly what Chan said. All right, so now, whether you believe or not, I can do this trick with the cards face up. We're going to do it anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and take a swamp, mix it in. Sorry, I'm going to take a mountain and mix it in with the swamps. Take a swamp and mix it in with the mountains. And now I like to do this trick a little bit differently. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Magicians will sometimes snap like this. And a lot of them will say, it's for effect. But actually, in this case, when I snapped, what I did was I contacted the card that was in the wrong pile, and I kicked it over to the correct pile. I know, you may not believe that, but look, take a look. Here we have swamp, 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 and over here we have mountain, 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 mountain. I know, super weird, right? But anyway, so let's go ahead and place these into two different piles. I'm going to take two mountains, place it on two swamps, place it on two mountains. And we're going to go ahead and do the snap again, like this. Magicians will claim it's for effect, but what I did was actually kicked the weird cards into the other pile so that they all match. Because if we take a look here, you'll see mountain, 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 mountain. And then over here, you'll see swamp, 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 swamp. Now there's this one part of the trick where we are going to do a little bit face down. And so here, I'm going to go ahead and this is the part. I'm going to go ahead and move this swamp into the mountains, this mountain into these swamps, turning these face down, turning these face down. Put that in there, put this in here, square everything up, and I will snap. For effect. You believe what you like to believe. Hopefully within reason. But now if I show you, here in this pile, we have swamp, 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 swamp. All four cards are swamps. And over here, we have mountain, 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 mountain. All four are mountains. And that, my friends, is the face-up oil and water. Alstro Art says, can you invent a version of oil and water with swamps, mountains, and islands? Alstro Art. That's a very good question. Very, very good question, Alstro Art. Thank you kindly for the claps. Chan the Magic Man, Felden Kane, E-Room, Sydney, a.k.a. Coco, welcome in. How's it going, Sydney? I'm assuming that the statement to E-Room, long time no see, is uh, sarcastic, because I think Sydney was probably hanging out with E-Room not too long ago. Guys, you're not following our friend Sydney, aka Coco. Please give Sydney a follow. Sydney reminded me the other day that E-Room was streaming, and I'm like, oh, I like normally on Wednesday nights I'm actually like on a Zoom call with some of my friends, but actually my friends couldn't make it, and I was like, oh, all right, I'll hop in, and so hopped into E-Room stream and then rated out. So yes, we were just at at Proggers. Oh, okay, nice, cool. But yeah, oh, guys, you're not following Sydney, aka Coco. Definitely give Sydney a follow. Sydney posts a bunch of things on YouTube, which are like his like there was like a historical was it a ship tour or something? I saw something like that. I didn't actually watch it, but um, yeah, definitely give Sydney a follow. Ads in 3 minutes. Okay, thanks for telling me. And then you know what? This will give us a perfect time to see. Let me see if I have enough islands right here to get back to what Alstro Art was asking. But let's see. Let me see if I have 4 nice islands set aside already. If not, I'm gonna have to get some. I mean, it wouldn't. They're just in a pile over here somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I happen to have 4 islands here. All right. So first, let me clear this. Then let me. This was for Alstro Art, right? Okay. Yeah, Alstro Art said, "Can you do this with 3 things?" Great question. I don't know. So we're going to try and figure this out. And it's okay if the ad interrupts because this is not technically a full trick. All right, so this is kind of what Alstro is. Jimmy Page, welcome in. How's it going, Jimmy Page? I did see that you followed the other day. It was like a random day. I wasn't streaming or anything. So, but welcome in, Jimmy Page. Do you ever perform with mental dice? I do not perform with mental dice. One of my friends has several dice tricks. None of them are mental dice. He's using Sleight and things like that. I do have a couple of other magician friends that have a mental dice, but I don't really perform with them. But anyway, Jimmy Page, welcome in. How's it going? Hopefully you're doing well. Just curious, Jimmy. This is your first time here. How did you hear about this stream? I'm just curious if you're comfortable with sharing. And welcome in. I mostly do sleight of hand here. I enjoy sleight of hand. Mostly card tricks. However, I do have some coin things. And I can tell some stories about what I did earlier today. I picked some locks today. um, Chan says, saw him in Jack's stream. Oh, okay. All right. So you must have heard from Infozar. Sydney says, happy Sunday from Michigan. All right, so kind of what Alstro is suggesting is that can I do an oil and water where I actually have 3 cards and they all separate? That would be a lot more challenging, I think. Could we do it? I don't know. Let's see. All right, so if I leave the mountains over here, and then I leave the islands over here. Let's see how let's see how far I can take this before something messes up, right? Like okay, so what I want to do first is let's do this, okay? And then let's add an island and a mountain. So let's go ahead and place, so boom, boom, boom. So there should be black, blue, and red, okay? Thanks. I'll follow anyone that streams magic. Oh, okay. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. So I actually, Jimmy Page, my name is Nam, and I'm also known as Crazy Asian, but I also structure my stream like a music stream. So I use a streamer song list. So you can request magic tricks if you're familiar with names of magic tricks. It's currently pinned in the chat, but you can check it out if you want to see what tricks I have. I've got like 80 tricks in the trick list if you would like to request. Ads? All right, perfect. um, let's go ahead and so here we've got a um, swamp, island, and mountain. And so we've got swamp, island, and mountain. All right, this is going to get lost really quick, I think. Because I don't think it scales very well at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and swamp, island, mountain. Swamp, island, mountain. All right, this is going to be a little bit weird, I think. All right, I'm just going to quickly check because, we're just winging it. This isn't like a real trick that I know. Okay, all right. So here, I'm just going to separate these four, and then these four. And let's see. So these should be the swamps if they've all sunken down to the bottom. And if I show you, they are indeed 1, 2, 3, 4 swamps. And then here, if you take a look, these should all be islands. 1, 2, 3, 4 islands. And then over here, these should be mountains. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right. I think that was okay just for like winging it. Literally didn't plan that. Had no idea how it was going to go. Seemed like it was okay. Um, so Astro art, I'll say, can be done. I would like a chance to refine that a little bit because the guts, I think the guts of it are there. Now add planes. Astro art. You're really stretching my patience, Astro art. All right, hold on. Let me see if I have planes. I know I have some. I don't know if I need. I'll need 4, right? I'll need at least 4. Okay, all right. Let's see. This is gonna be more mental juggling, like having 4 things now, which almost makes sense because there's 4 suits, right? Okay. All right, Elstrowart. I do have 4. I do. All right. Okay. All right. So here we have our 4 plains, which are these white ones. We have 4 mountains, which are these ones. We have 4 islands, and then we have 4 swamps. Oh my God. Okay. Let's see. So island, plains. All right, hold on. Let me do this. Let me do this legit. Okay. All right. Here we go. I'm going to place all of the swamps face down, all of the plains face down, all of the islands face down. All right, we are winging a trick. This has never before been done. Most certainly not by me, most certainly not with magic cards. All right, so, all right, let's see. First things first, we have a swamp, then an island, then a plains, then a mountain. All right. Black, blue, white, red. Okay. So black, blue, white, red. Okay. All right. Next, um, here, black, blue, white, red. Black, blue, white, red. Okay. Now, black, blue, white, red. Black, blue, white, red. I can almost assure you this is not going to work. All right, let me separate the top four. All right. Okay, that's this is going to be tricky. Very tricky. uh very tricky. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Here I can do this one with confidence. Ready? Black. Okay. Blue. Okay. Blue. White. And then red. Um, okay. That's probably as good as I can do. Jimmy Page asks, how many of these are double backers? Jimmy, zero. None of these cards are double backers. All right, here, we'll give this a shuffle. And if you guys are really great at... I was able to... By the way, that was not as successful as I would like it to be, but I think I finagled it to make it work. I made it work. All right. Oh, Alstroar, thank you for the suggestion. I would say that was tough. The adding the planes was tough. I think I could actually refine it for the three different things version. That could actually work out really well, I think, because also I could use like aces, a face card, and then like a non like just a spot card in regular decks, and then that would work out well. And with four cards, I'd have to make it like suit, I think. Let's see. Thanks for clearing that, Chan, and thank you kindly for the claps, Chan, Alstro Art, and thank you for the gigantic emote. Appreciated. Beth Kindosaurus says, I mean, if that was a failure, you could have fooled me. Also, hello. Yeah, I think if it was going to be a fail, I would be like, nope, this can't happen, guys. I'll just reveal the secrets of magic. might as well, right? But welcome in, Beth. How are you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. Good to see you. Jimmy Page, do you perform live gigs? I am putting myself out there. I haven't gotten too many live gigs. I have done one volunteer gig where I did not get paid. And then I have done a couple of walk-arounds at weddings, but I was just like an attendee at the wedding, but I went to do it for my friends. And then, so what I did for those friends was I had the decks of cards signed by the guests, and I had them sign it as though they were signing like a guest book and not so much signing a card for me for a magic trick. And then at the end of the night, I provided the couple with the deck or decks of cards that all their guests signed. Also, since I was their friend, I got selfies with everybody with me in the card, and I could give them the pictures of everybody entertained. It was actually the talk of the town for like a few days after their wedding. I was like, yes, all right, success. Overall, how does it feel to do it live? I will let you know, Jimmy, that doing Magic live and doing Magic for camera are different. I actually talked about it a little bit last week on last week's stream. Alstro Art says, "Good thing there are only four colors in Magic." Alstro Art. And Felden Kane is retorting right now with the colorless. So, if anybody doesn't know, there are five colors in Magic the Gathering, but then there's also colorless, which has become its own like color identity in. I don't want to say recently because it's been like that for like a decade. But anyway, yeah, performing live and performing like on camera are different. So it depends on kind of what you're doing. For people doing live streams, it's probably closer to doing live because I have the ability to interact with the crowd live. I actually have this thing like if you're on desktop and you click directly on the screen, you can select a card. So if anybody wants to, click on the screen if you're on desktop. It just doesn't work in mobile. I don't know why the extension. They probably never coded it or whatever. But so I see a heat map right here. So somebody can. Oh, look, we've got one selection. We've got a second one right here. So like we've gotten two selections. I can do a trick with those in a second. But so that's how we can do a little bit of interaction here. I also have the live chat, so we can have people like name a suit, name a card, whatever, what have you. And so that gets a little bit. I do lack. So when you're doing Magic live, you can see people's reactions. A couple of them are like when they're surprised, even if they don't say anything, because of their facial expressions. Misdirection is way easier in real life because you can say something, ask them a question, uh, direct people's attention to something that just happened, like a loud sound behind you, like what? And typically, most people will, you know, respond to the misdirection. I mean, so long as you're not obvious, like, "Hey guys, look over here." By the way, that doesn't work. Don't do that. But I also do video recordings for YouTube, and when I do those tricks, they have to be burnable. So what I mean by burnable is that I know that people will be slowing down the video or rewinding a video or watching the stream, or like watching it again. And so in that case, like the thing is when I'm recording a video, I can just do it again and again until I get like I don't try and go for the perfect take because sometimes it's just good enough and I'm like, all right, I'm good with the good enough. I'll put the good enough up there. Who is your inspiration for close up? I have a bunch, but my favorites are like Harpan Ong, Roy Walton. Um, I've got like some of the like Derek Dingle, um, mostly card guys. So if you're familiar with them, if you actually, oh, thanks for doing the YouTube guys. If you, by the way, big milestone. If anybody didn't hear the news, I reached 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. So big news. I technically mentioned it last stream, but I haven't actually put up a celebratory video yet. So that's it. Congrats! Thanks, Jan! So then my friend was like, now for 5,000. I'm like, oh, dude, I just got to 2,000. Give me a break. I actually think the next most reasonable. Heck yeah! Congratulations! Thanks, thanks, Felden Kane. Thanks, E Room for nice ones. Mark Rides, welcome in. How's it going? Um, so yeah, actually, if you just take a look at my trick list, a lot of the people that inspire me are just like these people. So Alex Elmsley, my favorite Sleight is an Alex Elmsley Sleight. Let's see. Yeah, if you look, I have like a bunch of Hairpan on. I've got some Harry Lorraine. Got a couple of Jack Parker. I actually really like a lot of Jack Parker stuff. John Bannon. Yeah, so a lot of those names pretty. Max Maven. All of these guys. I would say Paul Gordon, because I found him earlier on while I was learning Magic, affected me a bunch. But I actually am not doing a lot of Paul Gordon stuff now. So, all right. Anyway, so welcome in, Mark Rides. How's it going? Hopefully you're doing well. Thanks for random request. I'm gonna do a trick with these two, and then we can do yours. Let's see. Jimmy Page says, I'm only a month into magic tricks and I'm overwhelmed with the infinite information available to me. I also don't know how to stop buying tricks. I might burn out soon. Oh, Jimmy Page. One thing I would recommend is that if you like magic, don't buy much. Either work on the stuff that you've got or just work on things that you can learn without needing to pay. And then once you've kind of perfected that, like work on your presentation, work on your skills of like improvising. Like you just saw me do a trick. I didn't make up that trick. Well, I made up the one with 4 cards, but like the one with 3 cards and all of those other tricks before, I just rethemed them basically. I did kind of make up the one a little bit with 3, but I mean, once you learn enough, you can like improvise with a bunch of stuff, right? So yeah, don't break the bank trying to learn tricks. And Christina, na 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 na, welcome in. How's it going, Christina? Na 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 na. Also welcome in. I love saying your name, Christina. Na 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 na. So I'm really glad you came in. I heard Max Maven because of his Pocket Nightmare deck. Oh yeah. If you're buying like different things, it's definitely gonna take the toll. Like my entire first year of Magic, literally just a deck of cards and like some coins and like a Sharpie. And there's so much you can learn. And even a lot of the tricks that I still have on my trick list are tricks that I basically learned the first year. And a lot of them hit like really well. So you don't need to spend a lot of money unless you're not willing to put in the time. In which case, I guess there's a trade-off there. Like there are easier tricks where if you don't want to do sleight of hand, I just enjoy sleight of hand. I'm not bashing people that don't, but if you're worried about money, focus on sleights and presentation. Yes, 100%. I need to decompress. Oh man, don't even tell me about coins. I haven't even touched that rabbit hole. And then, oh, Christina na says, I'm good, thank you. I hope you are too. I would say, yeah, I'm mostly doing well. Can't complain. I'm still unemployed, but other than that, like life's going pretty well for the most part. All right, okay. Let's go ahead and actually, I'm gonna reveal these 2 cards. It doesn't matter that I know what they are. King of Diamonds and 2 of Hearts. I'm gonna go ahead and find 2 other cards as well. We can find the 2 Jokers. And so there we go. All right, and now here's what we are going to do. Let's go ahead and take the King of Diamonds and 2 of Hearts. Let's just leave them right there just for a second. I'm going to go ahead and put the 2 Jokers. We are going to cut them into the middle of the deck like this. Boom. And I'm going to go ahead and place the King of Diamonds, 2 of Hearts. One is going to be near the top. The other one's going to be close to the bottom like this. And now if I go ahead and I press those in, now this trick is called the attraction phenomenon. So for some strange reason, the King of Diamonds and the 2 of Hearts are attracted to one another. And they are going to be just closing the gap between the top and the bottom of the deck. And actually, those 2 Jokers that we cut in the middle of the deck, they are going to be the markers that will show us that the King and the 2 have moved. Because now, if we take a look, there's 2 cards trapped in between the Jokers. And if we take a look, those 2 cards are indeed our King of Diamonds and the 2 of Hearts. All right. All right. Let me do Trading Kings, because that was the next up in the list. But thank you kindly for the claps. Feldenkane, E-Room, Chan the Magic Man, ad break, how or when? Ad break, okay. Oh, Coin Matrix always amazes me. I know you must be moving the coins, but can never figure out or when. Ah, yes, that's definitely the thing. I've been trying to come up with, not come up, I've been trying to see if I can learn another version of the coin matrix, and I did see one, and I was like, ooh, that looks so good. Hold on, I've got to find Trading Kings for a second here. Guys, if you want to see my preparation, some of the card tricks that I have their own little sleeves. So that's how I got to stay organized. Some of these are, some of this little messy. Wow, have I just not done this trick for a while? Oh no, I stuck them all in the back, that's why. Okay, I found Trading Kings. Alright, let me see. Let me know when back from ads. When back. Alright, let's see. We might need to do the last trick we have, an ad break. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't do Trading Kings yet, so we're gonna do Trading Kings right now, so. Okay. And then Mark Rides, we can do the vampire card trick Castlevania style. We can do that. All right, let me actually, while the ad break's going, let me go ahead and do this. Trading Kings. That was my Mark Rides. And then let's see, we can do this. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay, trick list is up to date now. All right, cool. Thanks for putting that in, Mark Rides. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, so Jimmy Page. I will. So there are some muscles in your hand that you don't know exist until you try and do like good coin magic. Uh, and so when you get ready for doing that, but you don't need to break the bank, pun intended, I guess, because they're coins. I can show you. We can do one with. I actually have batteries over here, little coin batteries, and so ad break should be over. I meant if anyone missed the last trick. Oh, that was just like an impromptu kind of. I was just using the two cards that were just randomly selected as part of the. Guys, if you want to subscribe, hold on, wait. I haven't done a deal yet. Hold on, let me see if I can do a deal right now. How do I do that? Let me see. Do I do viewer rewards, power up channel? No, that's not it. Is that under subscriptions? Here we go. All right. Bonus badges, sponsored affiliate. Where the heck is it? How do I run a deal? I literally looked this up like last time. Bits and sharing community. To do a Twitch sub promotion. Oh, like discounted subs? Yeah. I remember there's a, let me see here. Boom, boom, boom. Watch L. Yeah. And I understand. Just tell me where to actually do the thing. Yeah, because then if anybody wants to sub, you'll get it at a discount. Hang on, let me see. And it's got to be under here. Bonus subscriber benefits. Nope, that's not it. Subscription discount promotions. Okay. Go to the new emotes page after. This does not tell me viewer rewards. Is that it? Sorry, guys. This is taking probably way too long. How to do a Twitch subscription promotion. Okay, it's under promotions under, okay, all right. Sorry, let's see. Oh, I don't see that available anymore. Oh, is it under affiliate? Do you know the Ruby's card trick where we line up 9 cards and then the cube matches the 9 random card pattern? Oh, yeah, the Rubik's Cube one. I think I know how to do that one. I don't. I'd have to make sure I have the cards. Anyway, all right. Let's. All right. I'm not going to worry about the promotion right now. Let me get to the next trick, and then if has anybody else who is an affiliate, have you guys run uh, a subscription promotion? If you can let me know where in the menus that is, that'd be cool. All right. So Trading Kings. First things first, let me go ahead and show you that we have kings from 2 different decks. Red, 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 and red. And then over here, blue, 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 blue. Not sure if you know, but they are all kings. And what I want to do is I want to have somebody in chat select a red suit and a black suit. So the red suits are either hearts or diamonds, and the black suits are either clubs or spades. All right. So it looks like Mark Rides has selected hearts, and Christina Nanana has selected spades. Excellent. So let's go ahead and do some magic. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and snap and turn over the hearts and the spades. One finger, and here we go. Hearts, same finger, spades. Now, not only that, would you believe that not only did I turn them face up, I actually swapped the packets that they are from. Would you believe that this King of Hearts is actually the red-backed King of Hearts, and that the King of Spades is actually the blue-backed King of Spades? GipsonLens, welcome in, Bert. How's it going? Technically here. And not only that, so anyway, everybody knows as a magician, right? Magicians are basically always lying to you. Some people will even say that magic, one of the most honest professions there are out there. Sure, I'm lying to you like the entire time I'm putting on a show or doing a trick or whatever, but you know what? You know that that's going to happen, and you come to watch, and it doesn't really hurt you at the end of the day. There are people who have used magic techniques to exploit people, to take their money, that kind of thing. For example, like 50 years ago, people who ran like seances and things like that, or psychic mediums, even back in like the 1800s, 1900s. You know, after the killing witches phase, but before people could be skeptical about that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, Christina Nanana says, "Gas, say it isn't so. I did lie." So these aren't all kings. These are actually. Let me just show you. There was nothing else you could have chosen because there's nothing else on these cards. These are all blank. And that, my friends, is Trading Kings. If you haven't seen that before, one of my favorite tricks to show new people or people who hadn't seen it before. This is, I call this like the 1, 2, 3 punch, because the first jab, right? That's like the, oh, they just turned face up. Second, which is like a straight punch. that's the they swapped, and then the uppercut, the final, the finishing move, if you will. That's when everything's blank at the end. And so that was the 1, 2, 3 punch. That is Trading Kings. If anybody wants to know the etymology of that, it is Twisted Sisters by John Bannon. Trading Kings is just the marketed name of this particular version. But thank you kindly for the claps. Chan the Magic Man, Felden Kane, E-Room. Thanks for clearing that, Chan. And let me catch up here. Christina Nanana's got the gasp, say it isn't so. Whoa! And then E-Room's got the mind blown. Thanks for the mind blown. And let's see here. Hearts is a bet, but how did you know we would choose hearts and spades? We chose clubs and diamonds. You would have revealed spades and hearts and got it wrong. No, Mark. The way that this trick is done is we can guarantee get 100% all the time. So that is the name of the trick. Or sorry, that is the way that the trick is played. So is 100% accuracy. It is also freely selected. So I would choose two people, get them to name two suits just to keep them different. We have one person name a black one person name a red one. So yeah. But that is the cool, ingenious part about the trick. It is very well done, the way that the secret method, if you will. All right, let's see here. Next up, we've got the vampire card trick. Let me go ahead and look. And we were going to theme it as Castlevania for Mark Rides, which a while ago I thought that it was super interesting because I had never done. Like I had been trying to do this as a retheme of a video game thing because I think that plays well to the Twitch audience because whether you play games or not, you may have at least heard of Castlevania, right? But I'm also a nerdy geeky guy. I love retheming these things as like nerdy geeky things. So ads in 3 minutes. All right. I guess I won't rush. Oh, okay. Hold on. I did see. Let's see. Who is it? Felden Kane said monetize. Okay, hold on. Monetize subscriptions. Hold on. Let me. And then subscription discount promotion. Okay, here we go. Subscription. Oh, Felden Kane. Thank you for that. All right. Let me see. Can I start a? All right. What time is it now? 11:30. 12:31. Yeah, I can go. Okay. Let's do a 2-hour promotion. You know what? 0 out of 7 used between. You know what? Let's do a. Will I stream Monday, Tuesday? Okay, guys, we're gonna do a 48-hour promotion. Oh no, that's gonna do 22 hours remaining. All right. All right, let's just do a 2-hour promotion. Start my promo now. Okay. I don't know if anybody has to see. By the way, I don't know if anybody has ever. I've never done this promotion thing before, so I don't know how it works. Maybe you should see something that indicates something. I have no idea. So anyway, but oh yeah. So thanks for finding that, Felden Kane. And hearts and spades. How did? Oh yes, hearts and spades. No, it's guaranteed every time. I would make it work 100% accuracy all the time. You're making me think I should try it. Oh, the promotion thing? I mean, obviously do it when you're streaming. I wouldn't do it when you're not streaming because then nobody would know to. But then again, well, here's the thing. You have 1 to 7 uses for promotions between now and December. And so even if you use one every month. That's October, November, December. That's only 3 months. So you could use 2 promotions each month between now and the end of the year, and then they will refresh on January 1st. So at least that's my understanding based on what I'm seeing here. I think you might want to plan it to do it before your stream. Oh yeah, start it before your stream. Yes, that would be the optimal way. If you've never thought about it, then yeah, definitely give it a thought. I've never done it before. I was like, obviously, I was just struggling to find it the menu. But hey, if I don't run the promotion, I don't know what it's gonna be like. So this is the first time I'm trying it. So actually, I don't. What is it for? Right now, it's get 35% off of 5 or more T1 gift subs. Oh, okay, so that's currently what it is set to. This banner will automatically appear in your gift subscriptions area below the channel when you start the promotion. Okay. If you don't use it, you lose it. I mean, I believe so because I think they just reset next, after the new year starts. I think January 1st, 2026, it'll just be 0 out of 7 for the whole year. So, all right, there's the quick ad break. So now hold on, I can start a stopwatch and then we'll start the trick after I see 90 seconds elapse. All right. Let's see. All right, cool. But yeah, learning experience. I've never done that before. To be fair, I don't know if it would ever really get anything for me. I think I have to stream more, which I know I said I was going to, and then I actually had a bunch of stuff come up the last 2 weeks. So I'm not making any promises. I mean, I only have my scheduled Sundays like in the Twitch calendar, but I have just done random ones. But um, I will try and make a concerted effort to stream some more. Because as far as I know, so right now I'm dealing with like pool closing and stuff, and the pool closes Tuesday, and then we're having the contractor come in to remodel um, a room either late this week, early next week. I had a job interview last week. I think it went okay. I hadn't heard back yet, so I'll probably reach out to them on Monday if I haven't heard back. Um, but yeah, all that stuff was kind of taking a little bit of precedence over, And then there were just like things. It's like, oh, all right, my wife's coming home early. Let me make food, and we can hang out before like the kid comes home because so we've been able to do wine tastings, which we haven't done in like a long time. We were able to go to a restaurant and like so for anybody who has kids, like taking kids to a restaurant, right? Okay, I think I see that the 90 seconds is up, so I'm just going to go ahead and clear that. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with the Castlevania vampire card trick. So I call it Castlevania because it is just going to be themed as Castlevania, even though it's just a vampire card trick. But this is perfect because it is Halloween, or not today, but like it is the month in which Halloween will occur. So I'll be up to snuff. All right, first things first. Let's pretend that you are playing Castlevania. And in Castlevania, we have lots of hearts. Now, these hearts aren't like life, they are effectively like energy to use your special ability. So that's what they are in Castlevania. Now, in Castlevania, you can use your primary weapon, which is usually a whip, or this special ability, which you can change them throughout the game. But the usual ones people see like axes, knives, holy water, that kind of stuff. So we got trick corn, which is trick or treat, and for Halloween. And then what's that e-room? I don't even know what that is. And then that's and Kevin Y Wong hearts and Christina has got the skeletons. There we go. And so here we find 1 heart in the level. We found 2 hearts in the level, 3 hearts in the level, and then in some Castlevania games, the end boss is Alucard, which if you didn't know what Alucard backwards is Dracula. But anyway, the vampire. So let's pretend you attempt to defeat the vampire on your first try, and you fail. Is a vampire emoji? Oh, okay. All right. Oh, I see it now. It's very small on my screen because it's further away from my face. I think I was able to like lean my head in there. But anyway, yes. Yeah, yeah. Chan's got it. Alucard backward is Dracula. So anyway, so you go back into level and you're like, hey, I just need a little bit more of that weapon energy to see if I can defeat Alucard. And so here we've got our 3, our 2, but look, you collected that first heart in the level, and not only that, it drained all of your life when you lost to Alucard. And so now you're like, okay, you just died and you restarted the level, you have another life, and so you're like, hey, I need to go and collect that the 2 hearts, all right, to try and defeat Alucard. And so Alucard, you encounter Alucard after collecting the 2 hearts, and now you see that Alucard has defeated you because you have no more life and you already took the hearts. And now finally you're like, hey, I need to then collect the 3 hearts because you're going to fight Alucard, and you're like, I'm getting sick of this. Let's go ahead and get that. And so now you can then see that both sides are gone. Your life is gone and the hearts are gone. And now you just have Alucard. And you know what you should have done? You should have looked up some strategies to try from speedrunners to see how they beat Alucard. And you know what? You're like, I don't need those hearts anymore. They didn't respawn because, you already collected them. And so what you ended up doing was watching the speedrunners, and they were like, whoa, that's this really cool strategy. And you're just like, I'm going to execute and just do everything faster and just copy them. Luckily, you are good enough, and so when you go and encounter Alucard one more time, you finally defeat Alucard, because he is nowhere to be found. All thanks to the speedrun strats that you decided to follow. Screw the hearts, you didn't need them. And that was the Castlevania. Man, I talk English good. I'm Asian. That's my excuse. I'm sticking to it. Thanks for clearing that, Chan. That was the Castlevania themed version of the vampire card trick. And very badly flubbed English, which, by the way, is my native language. So I am not really like that excuse has no bearing. Blah 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 blah. All right. Vampire, and then thank you for the 3 of Hearts love, E-Room, and thanks for clearing that, Chan. Thank you kindly for the claps. Felden Kane, Chan the Magic Man, Mark Rides, and thank you kindly for the star power, Christina na 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 na. But who would want to defeat Alucard anyway? Don't all vampires look sexy? Isn't that why everybody wants them? Like, all right. Looks like Charlie's Beats has requested a trick. Let's go ahead and get ready for that one. Anyway, welcome in, Bert. How's it going? Hopefully you're doing well. Sorry, I forgot what cards I'm looking for. And thanks for the request, Charlie's Beats. This is Jack Parker trick. Jack Parker. I like Jack Parker. So, for anyone who didn't know, Jack Parker had a great friendship with oh, hold on. Then I'm blanking on the name now. Andy Gladwin. So Andy Gladwin is one of the head people of one of the largest magic retailer sites online, and Jack Parker was a friend of his, and by the time Jack Parker was going to publish like one of his books, he had already been diagnosed with cancer, and so basically his first published book he had like basically been putting together on his deathbed, and Andy Gladwin was a close friend that was like helping him work through it, and he basically finished it and then had it published. Um, and so even though Jack Parker did get a chance to see like the final manuscript, but like not like a printed version. Um, but over the years through their friendship, they had actually learned, or they had actually communicated a lot of other tricks, and there was like another bunch of tricks that Andy Gladwin was like, you know what, this is all great magic. So he kind of refined that and then put that into another book, and then that was published later as well. And the first book was 52 Wonders, I believe. And then the second one was called 52, and each book had basically like 52 of Jack Parker's like tricks or sleights or things that he was going to teach. And so, but like all of Jack Parker's magic, mostly cards, is like in the intermediate realm. They're not technically difficult, but a lot of them were very interesting as far as like the story and the plot, because when you get into magic, you'll find that there's a lot of common plots or common tricks, and they follow like a similar vein. But then, like, if you see something that's like different, then you're like, "Huh, that's interesting," because that doesn't fit into my mold of like any of these plots of tricks or anything. Mark Wright says, "Not really sexy looking. Think they have an entranced mentality ability, which allows them to swoon their victim. Looking at the entrancement. Ah, yes. If you're in the classic lore of vampires, then yes, they can effectively. I mean, it is entrancement, but like I think for putting it in a way that most people understand is like kind of like hypnosis, right? Maybe without saying anything. Okay, all right. Let's see here. Next up, we have a request from Charlie's Beats called "I Know Kung Fu," and what better than a trick to requested by Charlie to use the Charlie's Beats signed Ace of Spades. Which, by the way, if anybody wants to sign a card. Oh, I'm on phone, so typing is messed up. Oh, I totally get it. Damn you, autocorrect. If anybody wants to sign a card, here's a way you can sign a card. There is a free way to sign a card. If you're a regular 25,000 channel points, you can sign a card. So, all right. Okay, so we've got the four kings and the ace of spades. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and turn over all of the kings. And so what we're going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and take the ace of spades. We'll leave it over there. And here's what we are going to do. Let's go ahead and I'm going to place the two black kings over here. I'm going to take the ace of spades amongst the red kings. So we've got 1, 2, 3. And now what we're going to do is 1, 2. Look, you can't see because even though this trick's, I know Kung Fu, sometimes the art of ninjutsu is invisible. And so it's here in my hand because now there's only 2, and that ace of spades has jumps over here in between the 2 black kings. I know you might have thought that that had gone a little bit too quickly. So let's go ahead and do that again. So here we've got the 4 kings. Here we've got the ace of spades. Last time I turned over all of the kings. Felden Kane, thank you kindly for the transporter. This time I'm going to leave the 2 black kings facing face up. And so I'm going to leave the ace of spades over there just for a second. So this time what I will do is I will deliberately place the ace of spades in between the 2 black kings. Like so. And then over here, I'm going to go ahead and smash the 2 red kings. Actually, if you can't tell, I've smashed them together. And if you were here, you can touch and feel this card because there's only 1 card. There's not 2 cards here. But actually, it's not the 2 red kings or even either of the red kings. It is actually the ace of spades. But now you're probably asking, wait, where are the two red kings? Because there's only one card over here. Well, if I show you, what we can do is if I just grab onto the two edges over here and I just pull 1, 2, and 3, I don't know if you could tell, but that one card has become two cards, and here are the two red kings. And if you want, this is Neo discovering that he knows Kung Fu. I guess that makes the two black kings Morpheus? Is that right? I know Kung Fu! Yep, that's how it works. If you can imagine, like, being able to download, like, new logic into your head, that would be crazy. But if you can then also imagine uploading your head into a robot, and it's like, would you be you anymore? Would you count that as you? I mean, the robot would basically be like you. It has everything of and everything, but huh. Thank you kindly for the claps. Charlie's Beats, Christina na 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 na. I remember there was. Oh, do we still have a clip of that? I think there's probably still a clip of that. But I went and I said Christina na 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 na's name, like, and I just went na 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 for like a minute. It's kind of funny. Thank you kindly for the claps. E-room. Yeah, and that was I know Kung Fu. You know, I probably. Yeah, I vaguely remember. Hold on, hold on. Let me see if I can just. If it's not in here, I'll have to find it later. But Christine. Nah. Okay. Maybe it's just na na na. Nope. Okay. I don't remember. I can't find it, but it either exists or I just didn't note it, or I didn't put it in my own clip channel. Thank you kindly for the claps, Feldenkane. The queue is empty. If anybody would like to request anything, feel free. Not sure if Jimmy Page is still here, but I will do a coin trick with batteries. Welcome in, Raiders. Thank you kindly for the raid, ZD Major 7. Guys, if you are not following our friend ZD Major 7, please give ZD Major 7 a follow. ZD Major 7, pianist, singer, plays with the video game orchestra, and so definitely, and welcome in Charlie's Beats, Zealous, Shinsu, Jerok, GipsonLens, Vex Trexer. Thank you kindly for the resub, ZD Major 7. Thank you so much. Let me find the ZD Major 7 signed. Hang on. Here it is. I was like pulling out the 8s and I'm like, where is it? Thank you kindly for the resub, ZD Major 7. And thank you so much for the raid. How is your stream today? And thanks for the shout out to ZD Major 7. Crazy Asian is rad. Everyone support him. Thank you, Chair. Greatly appreciate it. So, hey, we should add the promotion to pinned message. Oh, yeah, I said, guys, I used a promotion for the first time today. So anyway, I'm just letting people know. But anyway, only saying that because the ad thing just came up. Need to unfortunately head to bed now. All right, ZD Major 7. Thank you so much for the raid. For anybody who is here, thank you for coming over with the raid. Hi, my name is Nam. I like to do sleight of hand card magic, and I use a streamer song list to basically allow chat to request tricks. There's no music on my song list. It's all tricks. So with a link to your channel so people don't pay app tax. Oh yeah, so they can open in Safari or Google Chrome. Oh, I see what you're saying, Mark Rides. Thank you. Is that just ZD Major 7? Thank you so much for the gift sub to J-Rogue. Thank you so much. So ZD has signed a card. Jarrett, would you like to sign a card? You get a choice of, I think there's like a dozen or so cards left to choose from for this deck. So we can put J-Rogue on one of these. So let me know if you see one you like, Jer. And then we can do a trick with ZD Major 7 and your newly signed card. Shinsu says, interesting use of the song list. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, as far as I know, I asked around a bunch of different mods, and nobody else knew at the time of anybody else using the streamer song list for anything besides songs. And so I was like, ooh, let me go ahead and, do that. So, but anyway, let me know. Otherwise, we'll still do a trick with ZD Major 7 to thank for the raid. So in the interim, let's go ahead and what I will do is we'll do the trick that we end up doing for people who have never seen me before. The first time I see it used this way, indeed, yeah, for sure. I know another Magic streamer has now started using it as well to do his magic. Chan the Magic Man, mod in chat, also now uses it to allow chat to request tricks. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and take ZD Major 7, place in the middle. If we snap, that will bring ZD Major 7 back up to the top. Now, if I go ahead and I take ZD Major 7, put her back in the middle, if I snap, that will bring ZD Major 7 back to the top. And look, here's the thing. If I go ahead and I take ZD Major 7, put ZD in the middle, but now if I don't snap yet, if we take a look, that's some other card that's not ZD Major 7. But all I have to do is snap. That will bring ZD Major 7 from the middle back up to the top. And that, my friends, is the ambitious card routine. I also like to keep stats. The other reason why I wanted to use the streamer song list was it helps me keep... Oh, thank you kindly for the transporter, Felden Kane. Yeah, it helps me keep stats. Because when I saw people like, oh, I haven't played this song for like 6 months, and I'm like, yo, that'll work out perfectly. I haven't done this trick for 3 months. Like, so do it one more time, but don't snap, please. Oh, I see. Oh, yeah. So some people think that magicians will swap out a card. I'll leave it sticking out. You'll know it's the same signed card because it's the ZD Major 7 signed card, right? I'm going to take it and put it in the middle of this packet. I'm going to take this whole packet and put it in the middle of this packet. Once again, it's not on the top, not on the bottom. However, Mark Rides has told me not to snap. So we'll just leave this here just for a second. I don't know what'll happen. I don't know if you can tell. That was a transporter sound. For anybody who's not into Star Trek, that's the sound of the Next Generation transporter. I mean, it started with Next Gen. I think it's also the same, a similar sound in Voyager and Deep Space Nine, but certainly not the original. If we take a look, that has transported ZD Major 7 back to the top. I know. It's very strange. Very strange. Hype train has begun. We are currently at 3. Oh. Alright, guys, if you don't know what happens during Hype Train here, I have to do as many tricks as fast as possible. And so let me go ahead and just quickly find all of the 8s. Let's do a trick with all of the 8s, mostly because ZD Major 7 has signed one of the 8s. Here, okay. So here what we got is the 8s. I want to turn them all face up one at a time. Sound didn't play for me? Okay. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. If I was to ask you to turn over one of the cards and you turned it over like this, that would not be magical. So I'm not allowed to do it that way. So instead, I'm going to hold the packet and give it a magical twist. That magical twist will turn up the 8 of hearts. I know, it's super weird, but there it is. Now look, I'm going to give it another magical twist. Don't break your gaze, this is the part that gets people. 8 of hearts will turn itself face down. 8 of clubs will turn itself face up. I know, there we go. Is that strange? That's very strange, right? Now, if I go ahead and I give it another magical twist, the 8... Felden King, thank you so much for the 200 bits. The 8 of diamonds will turn itself face up. Now, some people would tell me that the 8 of spades is a little bit stubborn. I don't think it's stubborn. I just think it's a little bit tired from the previous trick. Because look, even if I give it one magical twist, none of the cards are face up. So, but here's the thing. If I give it 2 magical twists, that should be enough to then reveal the 8 of spades has turned itself face up. Just tired from the last trick. Okay, we have 2 black 8s over here, 2 red 8s over here. Let me go ahead and turn the 2 red 8s face down, and the 2 black 8s are going to be placed in the middle. So that's exactly the situation that we're... Christina, no. Thank you for the 100 bits. Thank you so much. Now, if I go ahead and I reverse count them, the 2 black 8s will still remain in the middle. I don't do any magic. That's the situation that we're in. However, what if I was to do a magical shake? This magical shake actually changes everything, because that magical shake, if you don't believe it, the red 8s are now face up in the middle, between the 2 face down black 8s. I know, that's super weird, right? I'm going to break a rule of magic, and we're going to do that one more time. So look, the 2 red 8s are in the middle, and if I go ahead and I reverse count them, nothing changes if I don't do a magical shake. So, right, that's how they are. However, if I reverse count them and I do a magical shake, this magical shake changes everything, because now the 2 black ones will be face up in the middle and the 2 red ones are face down on the outside. I know, see? Is that weird? That's super weird, right? Some people can't follow what's going on when I do something like that. So let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and you just try and follow the 8 of spades. Now, if I don't do any magic, 8 of spades goes here. Here's the other black 8. Where would you guess it is? Right there? You'd be correct, because look, there's the 8 of spades. All right. However, let me go ahead and do some magic now. So let me go ahead and place the 8 of spades over here, and the other black 8 over here. Now let me do the magic. Here we go. If you thought that the 8 of spades is here, you'd be incorrect. Actually, if you thought that it's over here, you would also be incorrect, because neither of these are the black 8s. They are actually now over here. Super weird, right? Super weird. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. We are going to go ahead and so we have the 4 8s, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and place one of them over here. And we've got 3 other cards. I'm going to go ahead and palm one of these cards. Now, this is something that happens in Magic. You'll hear about magicians holding a card in a way that you won't see. But if I open up my fingers, you'll be able to see it, right? However, if I palm it better, maybe invisibly, I don't know if you can tell, but it's still in my hand. You just can't see it now. You can't see it until I place it down on the table. And I'll let you see it once I place it down. I know, is that weird? That's super weird, right? Magical shake does sound like it should be a milkshake flavor. Says Mark Rides. Alright. And now here's the thing. I'm going to break a rule of magic. We're going to do the exact same trick again. Thank you kindly for the follow. And the bits. Oh, okay. We're getting all of the, the sounds. I'm going to finish up this trick, and then we'll complete the hype train. So anyway, once again, if I palm the card very badly, it'll look an awful lot like this. However, if I palm the card very well, it's an invisible palm, and I don't know if you can see it. Look, you won't be able to see it, but you can. If you were here, you could feel the magic, right? And you won't be able to see it until I place it down onto the table, which is what I want, and you'll be able to see it there. Okay. So, all right. Here, what we've got is the 8 of hearts. And so that's what we are going to do. 8 of hearts. Thank you for the trick. It's bedtime for me now. All right, ZD Major 7. Thank you so much for the raid and bringing everybody over. Hopefully you had a wonderful stream, and have a good night. Sleep well. Take care. ZD says, good night, everybody, and good night. Once again, we have, where were we? Oh, yeah. 8 of hearts. I'm going to go ahead and take the 8 of hearts, and we are going to go ahead and show you that the 8 of hearts is not over here. We're going to take the 8 of hearts. We're going to place it into the middle. Oh, wait, no. This is the trick where we're going to palm it, right? Okay, so look, I'm going to go ahead and if I do this, right, you'll be able to see that the card eventually, I'm going to palm it in my hand like this. I don't know if you can tell, but there it is, and you won't be able to see it until I place it down onto the table when I want you to see it right there. And these, you did see that these are the other 8s, but of course this is, of course, the ace, the 8 of hearts. And there we have it. Thank you so much for that hype train, everybody. I think, how many tricks did I do? Like 4 or 5 tricks in there? That was pretty good. That was pretty good hype train. So let me go ahead and thank everybody. So once again, thank you so much for the raid and the resubs, Eating Major, and the gift sub to Jer. And then thank you for the bits, Felden Kane and Christina na. And thank you for the new follows, Zeolus42 and Shinsu. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. And thank you kindly for the claps, E-Room, Shinsu, Felden Kane. And let me just catch up with chat, just make sure I didn't miss anything. Thank you for all the emotes, everybody. That was super fun. This is crazy, says Shinsu. And then Mark Wright says, magical shake sounds like it should be a milkshake flavor. I mean, I think it could be. I think if it was going to be a milkshake flavor, it would probably be like birthday cake ice cream would probably be my guess. I see that Charlie's Beats has requested clear plastic cards. We'll have to do a trick for that. I won't do the coin matrix with that, though, because it's a coin trick. And then Hype Train is still going at 50%. Okay, all right, cool. And then thank the Roo for the bits. And then, okay, I think I'm caught up. All right, cool. Awesome. So, where was I? Oh, yeah. I was going to practice a trick, a coin trick. And I like practicing this because I mostly do card magic, but this is like the one coin trick that is on my trick list. And I'm like, I want to keep it fresh because I love this trick. So, and I will follow this up with the cardless version as well. Mostly to keep it in good practice. I have messed up with these tricks before sometimes. That's the thing about live streaming magic, right? Sometimes you mess up. And so I accidentally reveal the secrets of magic. I try to be pretty good about it, though. So, all right. First things first, this trick will require 4 coins and 4 cards. And I'm going to go ahead and make like a little rectangle of coins so you can see that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover each coin with a card. Okay. And so we're going to go ahead and cover each coin with a card. And now what we will do is we will teleport coins from corner to corner. So if I show you, I'm going to move this one from here to there. But don't blink. It happens pretty quick. Ready? 1, 2, and I don't know if you can tell. Now we move this one from the here to there. 1, 2, and then this last one. 1, 2. There we go. So that was the regular standard coin matrix. Now let's go ahead and do the cardless version. Thank you kindly for the claps. Chain the Magic Man. So Christina Nana says, whoa! All right, so now we're going to go ahead and, so we've got these all set up here. And we have nothing in our hands, but look, ready? 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and there we go. Let's do this again. 1, 2, there. And now we've got 1, 2, 3 over here, 1 over there, and there we go. Now I've been trying to finish off this one with a fancy ending, so we're going to go ahead and just practice that because here we go. Ready? 1, 2, and there we have it. And that, my friends, is the cardless coin matrix. With fancy ending. All right. I think it's fancy anyway. I never used to do that fancy ending, and then I was like, ah, it's too good, and I wanted to make the trick longer, so I'm like, all right, I gotta learn. Kaio Demon, thank you so. First of all, welcome in, Kaio Demon, and thank you so much for the gift subs, Kaio Demon. Kaio Demon, there's so many emotes on the screen. Welcome in, and how's it going? Whoa, Kaio Demon, I don't know if you know, but you get to sign a card in the Twitch deck. So let me know. I'll pull out the cards that can have a signature. Let's see. So if you would like to select any one of these cards, you can sign one. Oh, and then if you come in and you request a trick, if I can use your card, I will try and use your card. Yeah, here's the signed card. So yeah. But thank you so much, Kaio Demon, for the gift subs. Greatly appreciate it. Let's see. We got who got one? MB Goldberg, Ricky Charms, Alstro Art, Beth Kinda Sorta, and Christina Nanana. So I know that Christina Nanana, Beth, and Alstro are all in chat right now. So 9 of spades, says Kaio Demon. All right. 9 of spades. All right, and then of course we'll have to do a trick for Kaio Demon. So let me go ahead and wait. Where's my Sharpie? Right here. All right. So let's see. I'm gonna make sure I spell it right. Kaio is Kyo Demon 956. All right. So here we go. Kyo Demon. Demon 956. 956. Alstrowart, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs to Scott Shoe Music, E-Room, Kaio Demon, Zealous, and Bella Gerard, which we know that E-Room and Kaio Demon and Zeolus are in chat right now. Alstro Art, have you signed one? I'm not sure if you have. I have one of the 10s. Oh, okay, you did? All right, let me also pull that. Oh, no, yeah, 10 of hearts. That's right. There we go. Alstro Art. Thank you so much for the 5 gift subs. All right, I think I have to do a trick with both of these guys now. With Kaio Demon and Alstro Art. All right. Let's see. Alstro, way cool. Thank you so much for the gift sub. Much appreciated. All right, awesome. Let me see if we can find. So, guys. And actually, while we're here, guys, if you're not following our friend Kaio Demon, definitely give Kaio Demon a follow. Kaio Demon rated in, I think, or I somehow we connected, and the Kaio Demon followed me. I followed Kaio Demon, and then I found Kaio Demon playing an old PlayStation JRPG called Legend of Dragoon, and I'm like, I love that game, so I jumped in, hung out for a little bit, and normally Kaio Demon, I've seen playing Hades, right? So, what coins were those? Magic coins? Christina asks. So no, these were actually. I have. You can. I do this with regular coins. But you could do quarters. You can do $50. These particular coins are just like a local historical coin to here. It is the. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. But it's 1984 Rochester 150-year anniversary. So I'm from the greater Rochester, New York area, and these coins commemorate that. So like the top says 1984 and Rochester and the middle is Rochester and 150 at the bottom. But the backs of all of these coins actually all have different like landmarks that are local to the greater Rochester area. You won't be able to see it because I don't think the camera is going to focus, but this one is like Carthage Railroad. This one is the streetcar that apparently used to be here, no longer is here. This one's the Bob Toll horse car. Oh, it's different kinds of transportation. Trolley bus, and they're all like Rochester transportation service related. Um, I'm here in the chat getting sleepy, so I thank you delayed. Oh, yeah, Dragoon is great. Great. Yeah. Legend Dragoon is awesome. And then thanks for the gift sub and ooh Nito. Yeah, so those are what those coins were. But I just use them because they're different. But I can do it with regular. I actually have like regular American quarters and regular American half dollars, just like also in this container. So we could do the trick with whatever. So they are standard regular. There's nothing special about them. Okay. Well, oh yeah, I was gonna get ready to do a trick with these two guys. Hold on. Let me see what trick we can do. You know what? These two guys are really great at getting um, lots of friends because you just gave gift subs in chat. And so here's what we're going to do. Now, what better way to make an impression than giving gift subs? Because you know what? Now, Kaio Demon and Alstro Art, they are, how shall we say, premium aces in chat. And you know what two premium aces can do? They can find an ace, which, you know, some people can say cheat in card games, but how many people play card games now? Here, watch. Ready? Oh, God. I don't know if you saw that, but look, I even bent some cards for them to get it. So look, they got the ace of diamonds. I have to unbend them now. But you know what? Putting them in the line of danger. Okay, but here we go. Maybe we should just do it from far away, because, you know, they're not here physically with me. They're in chat. They could be hundreds, maybe even thousands of miles away. And so they could still give gift subs. And look, watch. I don't know if you saw, but look, they were able to become an ace from long distance because now they found the ace of hearts. Now, we happen to know who they were because they were generous enough to give gift subs, and they were Kaio Demon and Alstro Art. However, if anybody wanted to do it anonymously, we wouldn't have to see your name. We could just go ahead and turn you face down like this, and you too could be an ace anonymously, right? And so you can get the ace of clubs. But at the end of the day, these two guys, they were able to find all four aces in the deck. And that, my friends, is a trick with Kaio Demon and Alstro Art. And at the end of the day, they will still be very good at finding aces. So here we go. We can go ahead and cut them into the deck. And look, they'll be able to find, wait, here they are. Alstro Art, Kaio Demon, four aces. There we go. And that, my friends, is a trick, or a couple tricks, starring Alstro Art and Kaio Demon. All right. Thank you kindly for the claps. Felden Kane, Shinsu, Zealous42, Kaio Demon, Christina na 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 na. Oh, look, and Christina's using the animated ace emote. There we go. E-Room, thank you kindly for the claps. Thank you for the claps. Chan the Magic Man, and thanks for, oh yeah, clearing that. That was the previous trick. And I know that we still have a pending clear plastic cards for Charlie's Beats. I remember Charlie. I haven't forgotten. Beautiful, says Kaio Demon. Thank you. Thank you kindly. Appreciated. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. All right, so we do have a redeem to get to. Let me see if I can, let me see here. Let's see what trick it, oh, it gave me this one. You guys already saw it as part of the raid, but let me see what else it gets me. I'll try and do a different one. Devil's Elevator with clear cards. All right, I think that's doable. I think that's doable. All right. So for anybody who does not know, I have a bunch of redeems on my channel, and for anybody who does redeem, there's a bunch of things that basically indicate a bunch of different cards, and I can do tricks with different cards. So some people might request Uno cards, tarot cards, Magic the Gathering cards, me to use a premium deck of cards, which, I mean, I would call Bicycle Premium. Hey, badumts! Thanks for the badumts. And but one of them is clear plastic cards. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what this deck looks like, and then we're going to find all the cards that we need to do this next trick with it. So this particular deck is made out of plastic, and at certain parts of the card it is clear, like this diamond shape. You basically see through it. I think some people think that you might be able to see some magical things happening behind the card. I am hopefully not going to reveal any secrets of magic. So we're going to need to find a few cards for this trick. So I'm going to find, actually, yeah, I need the 2 through 5 of spades, and I'm going to use the red 6s and 9s. Is basically where we're going with this. So let me go ahead and find them. You guys feel free to take a look at the cards. Oh yeah, so some of the face cards will look like this, and like the Joker looks like this. Okay, let's see. 4, 3, and I need the other red 6 right here. Okay. All right. And Coyote has requested a trick with Magic the Gathering cards. That will be the second time we use Magic the Gathering cards today. Excellent. So we'll do that after this. By the way, if you've been sitting around for a while and you've not hydrated, please feel free to hydrate. I'm having herbal tea. This is a blood orange flavored, so it's a new one. All right. So this trick is called the Devil's Elevator. I like doing this trick with the red 6s and 9s because at certain angles it might look like 666, and you know I'm trying to use, but I want them to contrast with these so you don't mix up the red cards and the black cards. Okay, next we have the black cards. We have 2 through 5 of spades. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and leave the 1, 2, 3, 4 red 6s and 9s over here. MDG is GOAT. And I'm going to go ahead and place the 5 here. So just remember where these are, the 5. I'm going to make it easy. The 4 is going to go here. The 3 will go down here. And then the 2 we'll grab here. Now, for anybody who's not seen me perform this trick before, this is called the Devil's Elevator. And hell is not so much just a religious place. Hell is also a business. And so as all great businesses, there is a maintenance elevator, and when you find yourself in hell, the easiest way to get out of hell is to get up to the highest level, which is the one closest to the surface, to then escape. And so I'm using the 2 through 5 here because look, I'm going to go ahead and take the 2 and I'm going to place it here. It's harder to tell that it's the second position, but this one is on top of it. So I'm going to place the 2 here in the second level of hell, and it's in the second level of hell. But if you find yourself in hell, you find the elevator, you get into it, you press the elevator button, it'll do whatever the Devil's Elevator does to then hopefully bring you up from the second level to the first level. And we'll give it a second just in case, you know, the elevator is broken or not. Regulars might know what I'm implying here. See if you make it. Alright, here we go. The 2 will come up to the surface because look. There we go. Now I'm going to grab the 3 and we're going to place it in the third level of hell here. 1, 2, 3. You see these 2 are definitely on top of it. Place it in the third level of hell. The 3 finds its way to the elevator, gets in the elevator, presses the elevator button. The Devil's Elevator does what it will do. And then of course, that will go from the 3, 2, and the topmost, the 3. Now, some people believe that hell has been festered with people the entire time, but look, if I just show you, these are the same red 6s and 9s that we've been seeing the entire time. If I go ahead and grab the 4 now, place the 4 here in the 4th level of hell. So 1, 2, 3 are all on top of it, so that's the 4th level of hell. 4 gets into the elevator, presses the elevator button. The devil's elevator will do what it does. And we'll come back up to the top, because here is the 4. Now, some people believe that perhaps I'm holding more than the 4 or 5 levels of hell, but no, these are the same levels of hell that we've been using the entire time. I'm going to clearly place the 5 here in the 5th level of hell, very cleanly, just like that. The 5, man, has to wait for a very long elevator ride. It's going to go ahead and press the elevator button, and it's going to go 4, 3, 2, 1. I show you the top card is now the 5 successfully escapes from hell. And these were the same old 6s and 9s we've been using the whole time. And that, my friends, is the Devil's Elevator with clear plastic cards. Thank you kindly for the claps. Felden Kane, E-Room. Oh, thanks for clearing that, Chan. Okay, let's see. Next up, we have Kaio Demon requesting using Magic the Gathering cards. All right, let me see. Let me come up with a trick here. Using the Magic the Gathering cards. Let me first pull out some Magic the Gathering cards. Okay, and then let's go ahead and do... Actually, let me start with this. Okay. All right. I hope you are there, Kaio Demon. We are now going to be starting the Magic the Gathering trick. So this is a trick using Magic the Gathering cards. All right. So first things first, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. Now, here's what I'm going to do. What we're going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and show you that this first card is a mountain. I'm going to show you that the second card here is a mountain. The third card over here, also a mountain. And then finally the fourth card over here is also a mountain. Now, if we were going to go ahead and bet some money and say, hey, try and find where the mountain is, I think everybody would feel very confident and want to play along. So, if you want to play along, anybody in chat who's on desktop, feel free to click directly on the screen where you think the mountain is, and I'll get you a free sub for where you think. So yeah, for anybody who wants to play along, we can't trace the heat maps to anybody, so just on on your honor if anybody wants to play. Okay, all right, so we have one player here. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the other one. So if you thought that I don't know if you guys saw it. Did you guys see the sleight of hand? Did you guys see the sleight of hand? All right, somebody has given me one right here. So I don't know if you saw the sleight of hand, because if I show you this card is not a mountain. This card is literally a card whose name is Sleight of Hand. All right, I don't know if you know, but if you had chosen this one, I don't know if you saw the sleight of hand, because this one's not a mountain either. I don't know if you saw. This card is also a copy of Sleight of Hand. Did you guys see the Sleight of Hand? All right. And so this one, I don't know if you know, if you had just selected this one is also not a mountain. This was also a sleight of hand. Thanks, Dad. And now finally, all right, so therefore the mountain must be here. And therefore, whoever placed this heat map, you also get a sleight of hand. Actually, there's no mountains here. And that, my friends, is you can't choose the mountain. Ad, says Chan. All right. Okay, let's come back to chatting until the ad breaks over. I know, but there's a bunch of people with subs now. Kaio Demon, thank you so much for the gift subs. We got one for you. Got one for Smiling Days, Vectrexer, Shinsu, Mark Rides, and GipsonLens. Thank you so much, Kaio Demon. Holy crap! Thank you so much. Kaio Demon, you know what? We're gonna have to do some more Magic the Gathering magic for you. So now that you know that I have mountains and sleight of hand, let's go ahead and do some more tricks with mountain and sleight of hand. All right. Mokoi F4F brought me here, so I'm so happy. That's right. Mokoi. I vaguely remember the interaction now. I had known of Mokoi for a while, but I think so. I used to mod for somebody that was a pianist that I no longer mod for because he stopped streaming basically, and I would see Mokoi there, and then like I hadn't seen Mokoi for a long time, and then and then that happened. It's like, oh, so all right. So here, this one is called Incauto Tromposo, but with Magic the Gathering cards. So first things first, we've got a mountain, of course, and a mountain. And the reason why I like to use mountains is like because like regular playing cards are either black or red, and I can kind of keep it similar in my head. And then of course mountains. So I'm gonna go ahead and place these three mountains down here. Okay, and then I'm going to show you the card that's not a mountain. It's this sleight of hand. Now that you know that I have a sleight of hand, right? And then we have a mountain. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the sleight of hand here. And the goal is to try and find the card that's different. Okay, so try and find the card that's different. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and lay these out like this over here. And of course, and we'll give you a little glimpse. I'm just going to make one swap. I'll move them so that they're all on camera. I'm going to make them one swap. I'll do it very slow. Very slow. Okay. If anybody wants to play along, go ahead and click on the card that you think is different from all of the other cards. Christina na says, Crazy Asian is a man who can move mountains. Thank you kindly, Christina na. All right. So we've got a couple of people clicking here, and I'll give you another glimpse. This is correct because this is the one that's here in the middle. I know, you might be thinking, wait. Weren't there 6 mountains and only one sleight of hand, which is over here? Anybody want to change their answer? Because look, if I show you all of these other cards, these the people who clicked here, they are correct because look. This is also a sleight of hand. This is also a sleight of hand. This is also a sleight of hand. And these are all sleight of hand. So if you selected this card in the middle, you're correct. This is the one that is different than the rest. Because, as Christina said, I did move all the mountains. There we go. And that, my friends, is Incauto Tromposo with Magic the Gathering cards. Let's see. What other tricks can we do with Magic the Gathering cards? Because I feel like we should do some more. Because I know, obviously, sounds like Feld and Kane. Well, I know Feld and Kane would because Feld, but obviously it sounds like Kaio Demon would also enjoy Magic the Gathering. So, actually, I haven't done anything super simple yet. Let's see how this. By the way, I've messed up this trick many times on stream, even earlier today. So, Let's go ahead and show you. Zealous says, illegal magic. We all know 4 cards of the same type is the max you can legally have. Yeah, 4 cards of the same name, that is not a basic land. Zealous 42 is correct. Alright, so here we go. Let's pretend I'm playing a blue-red deck and I have enough islands. I don't have enough mountains. And so, look, I just change it. There we go. Did that look good? Looked good, right? I think that should have looked good. There is a card in Magic the Gathering, though, where, and it was not a real legal card, it was just a card that you could cheat into play. If you could get it into play. Yup, looked good. Great. Awesome. Thanks, Zealous42. So there was this card that looked like it was a card that if you could get into play, but it was printed for the Unglued set, which if anybody remembered. So let me see here. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and here we'll place our first mountain, our second mountain, third mountain, fourth mountain. If anybody remembers what that card was called Cheaty Face, and it was a card where if you can sneak it into play without anybody noticing, you got it into play. So as a magician, that's great because I can sneak 4 copies of that into play. And if anybody is familiar, Cheaty Face, so you could pay for it like normal, but that's expensive for the thing that you get. But the text actually reads, if Cheaty Face is in your hand, you may sneak Cheaty Face onto the battlefield. If an opponent catches you right away, the player may exile Cheaty Face. Bless me. Excuse me, sorry. Lol, says Christina. Na. Yep, so magicians probably love this card. If we could use it legally, then yeah, I'd get it in play all day. Thank you, Chan, for the bless me. Let's see. I know I did this trick earlier, but are there any Star Trek fans in chat? I also happen to have some Star Trek cards. Thank you kindly for the transporter, Felden Kane. TNG was my fave, says Christina. Na. So, I'm going to be performing a trick with these Star Trek cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And these Star Trek cards are actually Star Trek Voyager cards, not because I don't like the Next Generation. If these could be Next Gen cards, I probably would use them instead. However, this was a card game called Star Trek Customizable Card Game by Decipher. And the earlier print runs of the first runs of the cards were the Next Generation, but they were god-awful quality. And the reason why I have to use newer print cards, really like either... So there was an expansion set that came out later that featured Deep Space Nine, and Voyager came out after that. The card quality was way better, and those cards could slide off way easier. Like the Next Generation cards could not, so I just can't do it with those. But anyway, so if you're familiar with Star Trek Voyager, we've got Harry Kim, we've got the Doctor, we've got Catherine Janeway, and we've got Naomi Wildman. All right, so and actually, you know what? Felden Kane actually use a transporter because that's actually what we're going to do. So look, if I have 3 of them over here and 1 of them over there, I'm just going to go ahead and transport 1. I know them all, says Christina. Na. Excellent. So look, here they are in the pattern buffer, but oftentimes you can't see them in the pattern buffer, and so they're basically just invisible, right? So there we go. And then they rematerialize on the transporter platform at the target site over here, right? And you'll be able to see them because that's where they go. So now let's go ahead and do it again. Let's say there's another site-to-site transport where we're going to want them. If you were able to look in the pattern buffer, you'd be able to see them in there. However, oftentimes you can't see into the pattern buffer. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that you can't see into the pattern buffer. There we go. And then they will rematerialize on the transporter pad on the other side, or on the planet, wherever the target is. And because you will now be able to see them, they're there. I know, right? So anyway, now what we are going to do is, let me just go ahead and place, this is Naomi Wildman. So we're going to place Naomi Wildman over here. And we're going to go ahead and show you that none of these are Naomi Wildman. We will take Naomi Wildman and place her into my pocket, like this. And I'm going to invisibly palm her from my pocket. I mean, she's just in the pattern buffer. She's going to beam down with the rest of the crew, right? So here we go, right there. And, well, we knew that the Doctor and Catherine Janeway and Harry Kim were here, but here's Naomi Wildman. Oh, Zealous, thank you for the transporter sound, just in time to reveal that Naomi Wildman has successfully transported. Boom. And that, my friends, is a card trick using Star Trek Voyager cards. All right, once again, if anybody's been sitting around for a while and you've not hydrated, please feel free to hydrate. Thanks for getting that. Hydrate, Chan. So yeah, I'm not going to lie. Magic the Gathering, probably by far the most popular, is either that or the clear plastic cards, I think, are the two most popular things to redeem. Actually, I don't have Star Trek as an option, so you guys just got something off menu. Zealous says, thanks, that was fun. Sleep time for me. Totally understand. It is a Sunday night. If anybody needs to go to sleep, I totally understand. I just choose Sunday nights because Sleight of Hand Sunday, I know I'll usually be home. Originally, it was because I would have work on Monday morning, but I'm currently unemployed, so there we are. Sleep time for me. All right, cool. Good night, Zealous. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good night. All right, let's see. So, if anybody wants to request anything, the queue is currently still open. I'm thinking about wrapping up maybe in like 20 minutes. So if anybody would like to request anything, the trick list is currently pinned. It's probably as close to last call as we would normally get. So feel free. Let's see. Oh, I haven't even. So there's so much stuff happening on stream today. I haven't even told my story. So before Magic, my hobby was lock picking. Now I hadn't really picked any locks for like 6 or 8 months, and I'd kind of fallen a little bit out of the hobby. However, yesterday I found out that a friend of a friend, basically, she had a son that locked a escape room like prop into, he locked the keys into a box where the lock was on. And she was like, and it was not like just a toy of theirs, it was like for like a school or something. And so she had this locked box for a month. It's like, oh, I can't get it open. And they told her, yeah, just get somebody to cut off the lock and you just have to replace the lock. And then she finds out that I've picked locks before. And I'm like, hey, I can try and pick it for you. And so today we arranged to meet up, and she brings the locked box. I bring my lockpick stuff. So here I am sitting in the public library trying to pick this lock off of like a locked escape room box. And I'm partially distracted because my kid's there and everything. But then they kind of like go play in like the kids' room for a little bit. And like within 2 minutes, I'm like, oh, and I picked it open. I'm like, yes, victory. So I hadn't picked locks in a while, but I was like, that felt good. So I was able to open it inside where the key, there's literally 3 copies of the key don't put all the copies of the key on the same key ring that could be locked inside the box all at once. Split them up. But anyway, this is just a kid. Some kid just decided to lock all of the things in there. I'm like, okay, kid. Anyway, I'm glad I could open it for them, and it was a lock that I knew how to pick, so it was perfectly fine. But there are situations under which, I wouldn't have necessarily been able to pick it. But anyway, I was thinking maybe if anybody's interested, I could bring my lockpick stuff down here sometime, and you guys can watch me pick. I was actually thinking, oh, maybe I should make it a sub goal, but actually, all the sub goals I would have made it were hit tonight. Coyote Demon says yes. All right. Okay, you know what, Coyote Demon? For you, I will go ahead and let me do this trick, and then I will go and get my lockpick stuff, lock that pick, and then I will pick some locks for you guys on stream. So let me put that in the list. So pick some locks. All right. So we will do that after this. Okay. All right. First things first. All right. So this trick is called the French twist. And what I have here is 1, 2, 3, 4 aces. Now, here's what I want to do with this. I want to show you that if I hold a packet in my hand, actually, let me demonstrate with this. So if I hold a packet of cards in my hand and I shake, then one ace should turn face up after I'm done shaking. Here, let me demonstrate. I'm going to go ahead and shake this. And I don't know if you could tell, but look. Now, the ace of diamonds turned itself face up. Okay. So now, once again, all 4 cards are face down, but if I shake, that will turn one of the aces face up. In this case, the ace of clubs. Now, I can show you all 4 aces face down, but now if I hold the packet and give it a shake, that will turn up ace of hearts. So now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cards face down. But if I hold the packet and give it a shake, that shake will turn up the last ace, the ace of spades. Now, some people are probably wondering, wait, how in the world do you use 1, 2, 3, 4 aces and give it a magical shake to then turn them over? Well, let me demonstrate, but just with a thicker deck of cards. So here, I'll show you that all the cards are face down. They're facing the same direction. I'm going to go ahead and cut the aces into the middle of this, and I will hold the entire deck and shake the whole deck. And now with that, all of the aces are face up in the middle of the deck. And that, my friends, is the French twist. Adds in a few seconds. All right. All right. I'm going to get locks during the ad break. Burb. All right, I am back. Let's see. Christina na says, "Thank you for the fun magic tricks tonight. Bedtime for me." All right, Christina na have a good night. Great seeing you. Sleep well. Take care. All right, so I'm gonna clear the table of cards. I don't want to mess up my mat, so I'm just gonna get it's like a binder sheet. It's just like an acrylic. It's just like a plastic. It's not acrylic. Sorry. And I have my locks. Like this is my practice lock kit. And then I also have my nice picks, and then I have a cheap set of picks in here. Only 43 minutes left. All right. So let me just start with, is anybody aware of how to pick locks or has been through it before? So I'm going to first pull out some locks that, if you are attempting to learn, you should get a practice set of lock picks and maybe get some clear locks, because you'll be able to see how the mechanics are working inside. Felden Kane says, "I know quite a bit." Yo, Felden Kane, you've picked locks before? Awesome. So cool. And then you'll graduate to locks that you can't see inside. Actually, there's a couple of interesting locks. These two, I'll tell you a little bit about that in a second. And then we've got some other locks. We've got some, what I call luggage locks, I think. So, all right. We've got a few more other locks right here and a few more luggage locks as well. These are all tiny baby ones. So, all right. But first things first, if anybody doesn't know, I will just explain the high level. So this was actually my hobby before Magic, before Performance Magic. I've been playing Magic the Gathering forever, so you're going to need two tools typically to pick a lock. Also, laws may vary in your country and / or state. So like I live in a state where I know the legality. It's perfectly fine to have the tools. There's nothing wrong with it. I've even brought these tools and these locks to like a restaurant and taught my friends to pick a lock like while we're eating dinner. And so that's fine. But there are some states in which like just possessing lockpick tools, you could be considered guilty until proven innocent. And there's some other states where it's like you are basically a criminal until unless you have a locksmith license or a certificate or something. So anyway, just be aware the rules and laws vary. First things first, you need two tools. And a lot of people think that the pick is going to be the most important one, but actually that is the less important one. The tool that you will need that is more important is a tension tool. Now this is a tool that you will place into the keyway and you will turn, and as you turn it'll simulate the key turning, but most importantly you're applying a turning torque to the core. Ideally, if you could create perfect locks, all of the pins, so if anybody's familiar with the kind of lock here, the pin and tumblers all lined up are straight in a row. However, because of manufacturing defects, they're all off by a little bit. And so, and that little bit you might be able to tell based on the sensitivity of how much this twitches. And if anybody's watched the lockpicking lawyer before, the lockpicking lawyer will talk about hearing clicks on each pin, and that's because the binding pin is the one that gets stuck, because that's the one that's mechanically pushing back on you turning on the core because of those manufacturing defects. A couple of the locks are super easy to pick because sometimes you just might be able to do like a bunch of just rakes and just put it in and you might be able to get them to go down. Other times you might have to finesse it a little bit. And so I'm just going to go ahead and press on some of these. And this will be highly embarrassing if I can't get the clear lock open, right? I'm actually not looking at this right now, so it should be fine. I'm feeling one get stuck here. Oh, I heard a click. I need to. So Felden Kane, have you picked locks before? I'm curious. You know quite a bit, or you know quite a bit, but you haven't done it, or you've done it and you were like a pro, and you're like watching this amateur magician try and pick some lock. Sometimes starting over is better because you might overset a pin, so that means you press it too far down. There's no way you can recover because the springs have to push back up to reset. And so, yeah, for some reason this one is giving me some trouble. I will just go to another one for now. And you know what? I won't leave until I pick these. All right. Or sometimes it is the tool. Sometimes you'll see me swap out a tool here and there. Wow, considering I did a harder lock earlier. Let's see. Felding Kane says, I've watched many of the lockpicking lawyer videos, and I'm level 100 lockpicking on Skyrim, and as a computer programmer, I get it. Yeah, yeah. If you like puzzles, like doing these, it's pretty satisfying once you open up like a lock. Wow, I have no idea. Maybe I'm just either nervous or super excited. Okay, here we go. So I've got this now. I know that it. So some people think, do you have to pull the shackle? The answer is no, you don't have to pull the shackle. So usually there's a very strong spring. So in this case, you can see the spring here. And so once you turn the core, it will just turn it in a way that will allow for that spring to basically decompress and shoot a spring-loaded lock open. And so in this case, that's how this works. But Felden, this is for science. Yes, it could be both. Yep. So this bike lock, for example, this bike lock is not spring-loaded. So you have to know when you get it, when you turn the core. But it's very clear when you turn the core. And so anyway, so the reason why the turning tool, so if you're going to dish out money to get nice tools, make sure that you get a nice tension tool, because as you apply pressure, turning torque, this is the thing that's going to give you feedback in your finger. So see how much pressure? I'm not pressing so hard that it's like impossible, but there's a fair amount of pressure on this right now. So I can feel any movement left and right as I am pushing the pins down to try and get clicks. So now I know I just got it because I just moved like a few degrees on this. So most locks that I've encountered, the key turns clockwise, but some of them do not. Now, I just told you that most locks require two tools, a pick and a turning tool, and the turning tool is more important. These two locks are broken because there's no actual locking mechanism except for the fact that when they click, it closes in the shackle. But there's no pins in here that matter. Like if there are any pins, they don't need to line up or anything. So all you need to do is literally take anything that can turn the core of these two locks, and they will open. So look, right now there's nothing here on this. I'm just going to turn it, and it just popped open. So I don't know how I came into these locks, but when I discovered, oh, these two there's nothing. You can use a screwdriver to open these two particular locks. So boom, just popped right open. So these two aren't real locks. I mean, they'll fake it really. They look like they're pretty convincing, but you don't need anything special to open those. Oh, I said I was going to try not to make the mat dirty. So, all right, so we just got those. Here, I put them in over here. Okay, next up, let's do some luggage locks. So inside of typical locks, pin and tumblers, so that's what the type of lock is called. They are like, there's 5 or 6 pin stacks, and each one has a different key pin that has a different length, and that corresponds to the teeth on your key. That pattern is called the bitting, B-I-T-T-I-N-G. And so you can discern that pattern by looking at the key. But when the key is put in, they all line up so that the line that's between the driver pin and the key pin all line up with the edge of the core, and that's why you can turn the core. All right. Obviously, in these luggage locks, there's only a few of them, like maybe 3 at most, I'm guessing. I don't know for sure, but the important thing about turning tools is that you want to have ones of different sizes. So I couldn't use the same one that I used for this one with this because the keyway is just tiny. So that's kind of part of the puzzle, like trying to figure out, what can fit in there, what doesn't. This one I don't think requires too much finessing, mostly because it's just like push the pins down and turn, and then hopefully you'll get it. Because it's like right now I'm not really maneuvering anything in there. So I just got it. So I am using some kind of, so this is like my crappy set. This was my first set, and it was pretty cheap. Got it on Amazon. Amazon sells them. Amazon does not, by the way, Amazon does not check to see what the legality is in your state. They'll just ship it to you. So it's up to you to know the legality of stuff in your state or your country. Thank you kindly for the claps, E-Room. So yeah, I mean, oftentimes it's like any other illegal paraphernalia, right? It's not a problem until somebody else discovers that you have it. I'm not condoning anything illegal. Make sure everything is legal. There's a couple of rules to live by if you are interested in this kind of thing. First one is don't pick any locks that you don't have explicit permission to pick or that you don't own. So that's the first rule. So I own all of these, and I'm giving myself explicit permission to pick them. The second rule is don't pick any locks that are actually being used for security. Just got this one. Charlie's Beats, thanks for the sus. Because there are some high-level locks where if you pick and they are the high-level locks, you can pick it in a way that will destroy the lock and the original key will not work anymore. There's also a concept of a trap lock, which I've learned through watching the lockpicking lawyer. And actually, one of the other people that I used to watch on YouTube is called Bosnian Bill. And so I learned from lockpicking lawyer and Bosnian Bill videos on how to lockpick. And that's basically all I needed. And now here we are. And the other, was it? Oh, yeah. So that's the second rule. Don't pick any locks that are actually being used for security. And then I just got this one. Boom. Popped open. There we go. So I got that. And I'll do the other luggage lock. I separated all the keys. I don't know why I have the keys with this one for some reason. Oh, it's because this keyway is way tinier than the rest of them. So just in case there's some trouble. Oh yeah, so I'm using my crappy set. So some of these picks have actually, I've let some friends use them and they've broken the picks, but they still work. So like this one, there's no actual pick tip. So like oftentimes the pick tips might have like a curve to it. So like if you can see, this one has a slight curve to it. It's like a dentist toothpick, right? But I have two broken ones and they still work fine. Like I actually found, because I don't practice with my nice set that much, that I might actually be better at picking my locks with the crappy set, and that's actually what I found, because I'm used to picking stuff because I always have these, but I never bring my nice set anywhere. So that's kind of it's kind of funny part. Oh yeah, this one might give me a little bit of trouble here. One thing is when you can't see into the lock, if you don't know which side the pins are on, and you know that's a pin and tumbler with a pin stack, you can put a pick all the way down into the depths and then press downward as you pull out. If you can hear it clicks, you'll know. And then if you want to know how many pins, you can count the clicks. So that's 2. So I think this might have 3. 1, 2, there. Yeah. So that is a strategy if anybody needed one. You know what? Maybe we're just going to pick until the end of stream. That's what I foresee. Hopefully you guys are okay with that. I'm kind of explaining what I'm doing as I'm going and telling you all my knowledge about lockpicking. I've always kind of like enjoyed doing this kind of thing, teaching people. That's why I taught like a ton of my friends how to pick, which has been fun because 2 or 3 of my friends got back to me and they were like, you know that when you taught me how to lockpick, Nam? And I was like, oh yeah? They were like, yeah, I was able to pick a lock this weekend. I'm like, yo, that's so awesome. Like, and I've picked, I think maybe like 4 or 5 locks in the wild. Of course, I had permission, or people asked me to do it. So, oh, the other thing, the third rule is make sure you know the laws for what you can do. So, in many states, including my state, is if I charge money for my hobby lockpicking activities, it is illegal because of law and union things. I have to be a licensed locksmith to be able to charge for these services. So obviously everything that I did, I volunteered for because I didn't want to do anything illegal. All right, I'm just going to skip this one mostly because the keyway is way tinier. It's tougher just to get tools in there. We can come back to it if I feel like it later. All right, next. So some people see a lock like this, and the lock-picking lawyer makes fun of master locks because they're surprisingly really easy to pick. I'm not as good as him, of course, but, you know, we'll give this a try. And so the turning tool, or the tension tools that you get, they come in different flavors. I like a couple styles, but there's the ones that look like this. It's just like a flat piece of metal, and the things that you care about are like the width, like the thickness, and then like the height, and that will. And usually, if you get one that looks like this, the two sides will be different. Thanks for the lurk, Chan. Ads? Oh yes, of course. Have a good night. Sleep well. Take care. Guys, if you are not following our friend and mod Chan the Magic Man, please give Chan the Magic Man a follow. Give some mod love. Chan the Magic Man, thanks for helping me out today. And Chan is also a fellow magician on Twitch. If you give him a follow, you can catch him doing magic on Magic Mondays. And so if you catch him other times, he's playing retro games, community games, Grand Theft Auto, so all sorts of things. But yeah, definitely give Chan a follow. Oh yeah, and Magic Twitch. If anybody wants to see more Magic Twitch, we know about 4 Twitch magicians that have had regular Magic schedules. So there's me, there's Chan the Magic Man, there's Hallowthorn, which doesn't stream much anymore, and then there's InfoXR, which is Jack. I just got the master lock open, if anybody was curious. So. But yeah, Magic Twitch. And if anybody decides to start picking up Magic and you want to stream it, let us know. When you have a Magic, I think when you have a regular Magic schedule, we'll add you to Magic Twitch. I think we've had a few people that have streamed a couple of Magic streams, but no one has been regular as far as I know. I mean that in all due respect and not in the gastrointestinal sense. I mean that in the magical Twitch schedule sense. I would hope that everybody is regular in the gastrointestinal sense. For your health. And by the way, the healthy regular is very, it can vary wildly. So it's not like a fixed number for each person or whatever. Everybody's different. So one of the ways that I know I'm making progress is if I get like a wider angle movement with my finger. So when I first started picking this lock, this tension tool probably started like here. And so as I picked, I just got like a couple more degrees, and now I'm here. So I'm pretty close. I almost feel like I think there's one pin that's holding me back on this particular one. But also I feel like the tension tool is in my way as well. So I just got that. There we go. So you can see that as I turned it, so I was able to turn the core basically almost a full 90 degrees. And you can see it turn back. There we go. And so see, when it's fully locked and engaged, I won't be able to turn this that much. And so before, when I was like, I was like here. So all right, let's go ahead and show you the bike lock. So I did mention earlier that you don't typically have to pull, but the bike lock is different in this case, well, this particular one. So one thing is I've been turning all of these cores clockwise. I discovered that this one was not a clockwise one. And when I gave this to my friends that I taught how to pick, they were having a lot of trouble, and then I had to give them the hint. But I don't know how normal people would discover that without just trial and error and like trying to figure that out. So this one I have to hold in an awkward way because I'm not used to tensioning the lock in a counterclockwise direction. But so I'm holding this in like a really weird like way, and then I'm trying to push it in the other direction. So let's see how well I can do this. And so, oh yeah, right now you can see that that's like the direction, and that's like as far as it goes. So let's go ahead and let's press pick some pins. Okay. Now, once you've gone through all the pins once and you heard them click, you might have, once you've heard one click, you might have to revisit all of the other pins because now you're in a new state. And so you might have to move them again. And sometimes, honestly, like resetting could be like the best thing because sometimes you get stuck into a rut. There are actual pins, and if you've been on the Lockpicking Lawyers YouTube channel, you've probably seen things where they mention security pins. So driver pins and key pins, they're all basically vertical, but security pins have serrations in it, so you fall into a like a little gap that you think maybe you're making progress, but actually you were not making any progress because you just fell into a trap. If you know that there's a trap, you can work around it, but so I'm going to start this one over. Rev Beaumont, welcome in. How's it going? Thank you so much for the raid. Guys, if you are not following our friend Rev Beaumont, please give Rev Beaumont a follow. Looks like Rev Beaumont was playing Grand Theft Auto 5. Rev, how was your stream? And picking some locks. Yes, I was going through my lock. So we had a bunch of gift subs earlier today, and I was like, hey, what do you want to see? And I was telling people about my story about picking a lock earlier today. So my hobby before Magic was lock picking, and so I decided to show off some lock picking. But yeah, hell yeah, it was great, awesome. I'm glad that you had fun playing Grand Theft Auto 5. But yeah, so if you want, I can just quickly explain. So for anybody who hasn't picked the lock before, if you want to try it, you can get clear locks that will give you a little bit of visibility into the lock. And you need two tools, a tensioning tool, which will turn the lock, and then you need a pick. A lot of people think the pick is more important, but the tensioning tool is more important because it will tell you, it will give you feedback as to whether you're making progress on the lock or not. The pick is literally just a tool to just push pins down, and so that can be less sophisticated. So let's see. Yeah, Red Beaumont says, hell yeah, it was great. Awesome. So, but yeah, so right now I will apply some tension onto the tension. For some reason, I had more trouble with the clear locks earlier today than like the luggage locks, the master lock. So I don't know why, but. And then I was explaining, yeah, you don't have to pull the shackle. Some people who first start, they're like, ooh, do I have to pull the shackle? And it's like, no, you don't have to pull the shackle. You shouldn't have to. Once you get the core to turn, it's spring loaded. So there's a spring here that's compressed that now when I turn it, it will decompress and shoot the shackle open like that. Let's see. Red Bowman says, I picked a locker too in my day. Awesome. Yeah, I picked one in the wild today because I was telling the story of my friend of a friend. Her son basically locked keys to like this escape room set into a box that the lock that it would have opened was locked onto. So I was like, okay, let me just see if I can pick that. And lo and behold, I was able to. So I just picked this one. Beetle Rock or Beetle Rock. It says, a good sledge works wonders if it's attached to a door and things you don't agree with are happening on the other side. Absolutely. I mean, so here's the thing. If anybody was going to thieve somebody else, there's so many ways to get into a home. I basically learned lockpicking as the gentleman's art of lockpicking. Like I wanted to learn and understand like the mechanics, and I thought it would be like a cool puzzle. Like I liked solving puzzles and stuff, and so that's basically the reason why I started lockpicking. So Like if anybody's targeting you, they're gonna get in. They'll just like throw a rock through a window or something. Which, by the way, I am not condoning anything illegal. So definitely follow your local laws. A lock only keeps out an honest person or a lazy thief. So a lazy casual thief who's just looking for open doors, like that'll keep them too. GG, I like puzzles more than smashing things. Yeah, absolutely. So that's kind of like the reason why I'm a software developer. Currently, I'm unemployed. I'm looking for work, but that's a long story. Uh, so, but I was like, all right, let me. So I've been doing. By the way, I normally like to do sleight of hand card magic on stream. We were doing that earlier, and now we're just basically doing this. And I told chat I'm basically probably going to do this until the end of stream, and then we'll raid out. So here's a master lock. I can't see into this one. I just got it open. So there we go. And you can tell that I've got it open now, so once I let go, it will re-engage. It does not turn that much without me picking it again. So, let's see. Beetle Rock says, I gotta go cook some food and go to bed. All right, Beetle Rock. Thanks for coming in with the raid. Greatly appreciate it. But I'll catch you later. Absolutely. Yeah, I normally do this every Sunday night, and I try to have random streams other times. But yeah, thanks for the follow. Greatly appreciate it. If anybody wants to join the Discord, you're welcome to. I usually announce when I'm streaming in there. All right, so as I was explaining about this is a bicycle lock, and so this lock, I'd been saying that all of these cores I've been turning clockwise. So this one I had to turn counterclockwise, and I don't know how most people would discover that, but I somehow discovered that that was the way, and that's how we open this one. But there's no spring-loaded thing here, and so you just have to know when you turn the core to then slide it. So like right now, if I attempt to slide it down, it's locked. It does not go down at all, and it's got these teeth, so that's why it's like it'll stop it. When I get it open, I will be able to slide it all the way down, and that's the idea here. So I just got to refresh myself on where the pins are over here, and then we need to place this in a way where I can turn it the correct way, which is counterclockwise on this one. And then I got it. And this was what I was trying to pick when you guys rated in. So, and I just got this. And so we see it turn, and now I can slide it freely up and down. And if I take this out, so actually this does not lock by itself. I actually have to turn the keyway back to lock it. The nice thing is I can lock it out here like this. So if I turn the keyway back, it will lock, and then I can slide it back on because of the way that these teeth are. It will allow me to slide it back, and now it is locked back on. And then the only other one that I did not pick was this one. Oh, no, and the other, did I get this one? I probably did. But anyway, yeah, so hopefully this one should be easy enough. I can just do it again. But yeah, if anybody is interested, in my Discord, I have a lockpicking channel as well. So if anybody wants to talk lockpicking, I'm willing to talk lockpicking as well as magic. I have a separate channel for card magic or for performance magic. But it's always a fun time. I enjoy it. I also like Rubik's Cubes. I can solve a Rubik's Cube. That's on the trick list. I suppose if I left the locks down here, I could have that on my trick list too. Pick a lock. And then this one is just the hardest just because it is old. And the internals, like if this was a new lock, it probably wouldn't be an issue. But like sometimes you'll find old locks, rusted locks. This one I actually picked off of a magic trick that I got from Magic Club. And they were like, oh, we've lost the key. And I'm like, oh, that's okay. I can try and pick it up. So there's a trick called the locked deck. And they gave that to me because I was like, let me try and pick the lock. And then I go and discover that the trick wasn't even created properly. So I have long since no longer have the deck. But I kept the lock because nobody else is probably going to use this unless they use it to pick. So I'm going to see if I can get this one. If I can't, that's okay. I'll still do a finale trick, I guess, before we end stream. But, yeah. So that's the idea. That's the plan. So right now, this keyway, the keyway itself doesn't look that narrow, but the pins are like really in the way. So I don't know if you can kind of see. So the pins are on this. So in reference to the camera, the top side, this metal piece that's like right here is a pin. And so these pins come up pretty high. And so if I stick a tension tool in there, it's not that much space to pick. So you don't need a lot of space, but you do need like some. Actually, so here's something that I've done. Put a pick in there, push them all down, get the tension tool in there, and then just slowly release. So that's one way to get the tools in there. But I'm gonna feel not good if I can't pick this. Oh, there we go. Just turn the core. Just picked it open. There we go. Ha! All right, glorious. So yeah, that was picking locks today. All right, awesome. Let me go ahead and I'll just lock all these up. And we can do one more magic trick before we go, and then we'll write out. I think I know why I left the keys in here now. It's so that if I can't pick it, that we know that it still works. All right. Nice work, says Felden Kane. Awesome. Anyway, hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully you guys found that interesting. Certainly I enjoy it because it was my hobby before magic, but it also, if I ever get into like escapism or escape magic, like it'll come in handy. I haven't done this, but doing any magic tricks with it, but obviously if I keep the skill sharp, it is an option. Which I'm starting to open myself up to gigs, so maybe in the future it could be, but like, I don't know, escape magic doesn't really appeal to me, so that's kind of the thing. But also, if, oh yeah, I didn't show you guys my nice tools, I didn't use them, but, so here's my nice set. Boom. So I have a couple of rake tools, so this is the thing where you just try and like shove it in and out a few times while turning and just hopefully you get lucky. Here's the picks that I prefer. Like these are the pick shapes that I enjoy the best. I have a bunch of different turning tools. You can see I only have 4 picks in here, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 tension tools in here. So that's if that doesn't show that tension tools are more important, then I don't know what will. I mean, short of like learning how to pick yourself and then understanding. And then there are some other things that are not pin and tumbler locks. There's older locks that will sometimes use a key called warded locks, and these are less secure, but actually if you have a set of warded lock keys, so there's usually just a set of 5 warded lock keys that basically open most of them, like I'd say 95% of them that I found. Kuyasai, welcome in. Who we robbing? We're not robbing anybody. Thanks for shouting out Kuyasai. Guys, we're not following our friend Kuyasai. Please give Kuyasai a follow. And then I've got these two. They just happen to fit nicely. So actually, one of the warded locks I found, I couldn't open. This one opens it because this one had teeth, and then I just cut away all of these, and this is all that was needed to open that. So, but yeah, how's it going, Cyrus? So I was about ready to wrap up stream, so I just wanted to show off lock picks because I think we were talking about it in chat, and then here we are. So now I'm going to put a finale trick into the queue, and then we'll do a finale trick, and then we'll rate out, assuming I don't mess up the finale trick. But yeah, so that was my a bunch of my weekend. All right, I'm in the mood for doing a trick called Dazed. I think I did it last week, but it's my finale. I'll do what I want. Dazed. Okay. So let's go ahead and unpin. Let's close the queue. All right. Good timing. I'm just finishing up my tea. All right. Thank you, everybody who came out today. Thank you to everybody who interacted with the stream, whether you requested a trick, chatted in chat, um, clicked on the heat map to choose a card, you chose a suit, um, did a sound alert. If it wasn't for you guys, this wouldn't be as much fun for me. Thank you to all the lurkers out there, because magic is one of those rare art forms where if I'm practicing magic at home, there's no magic happening. The magic has to happen in your mind. Thank you so much for all the strong support today. Thank you so much for the hype train. So most of my streams we don't have a hype train, but today you guys came out in full force. So thank you so much. And honestly, at a time it means more to me because, well, you probably heard me mention, if not this stream, definitely past streams, that I'm currently unemployed. So every little bit helps. So thank you so much. So thank you so much for the raids ZD Major 7 and Rev Beaumont. Thank you so much. Thank you kindly for the resubs, ZD Major 7. And thank you for the gift subs, ZD Major 7, Kaio Demon, Alstro Art. Thank you so much. Those mean so much to me. And thank you for the bits, Felden Kane and Christina na 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 na. Na. I don't know how many nas there are. There's a lot of nas in there. And so thank you guys. And thank you for all the gigantic emotes, Alstro Art as well. Okay, so let's see. Thank you to our mods. Whoop, I just smashed my mouse for some reason. We did give Chan a shout out earlier, but if you're not following our friend Chan the Magic Man, please give Chan the Magic Man a follow. And if you're not following our friend and mod GipsonLens, a.k.a. Bert, GipsonLens is a pianist, is also a composer, has composed a bunch of his own originals, has released his first album like half a year ago. I can say that because it's like so many months ago now. You can listen to the entire album free at links at all the music services at that link tree. But also, GipsonLens has also been doing movie reviews on his streams, and I am having fun guessing as to whether he likes the movie or not, because I'm going to let you know it is oftentimes unpredictable. uh, yeah, what's good, GipsonLens? Also, if anybody believed today that I had real magic, thank you so much. That means a lot. If what I told you today does not describe and explain that everything is sleight of hand, everything here is sleight of hand. It's not sorcery or black magic or deals with the devil. It is sleight of hand. But if you still believe it's magic, best cover story ever. Sleight of hand. And let's see here. Guys, if you are if I'm not around and you want to see more of me, the best place to find more of my stuff is my YouTube channel. I just hit 2,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. Huge milestone. So I was like, yeah, super. I haven't even done a video to celebrate it yet. That's how, like, it literally happened earlier this week. So I was like, yeah, or no, was it last week? Yeah, I think I said it was last week, right? So it's been like a week. So I'm a little bit behind, but I have over 300 magic tricks on my YouTube channel. So definitely subscribe to me over there. If you want to watch any old VODs that have fallen off of retention off of Twitch, they are on a different channel. So I don't care about the followers or the subscribers on that one, but they're there if you want to see them. Obi-Wan, welcome in. Your sleight of hand is so advanced, it's indistinguishable from real magic. Obi-Wan, thank you kindly. Greatly appreciate that. Also, guys, if you're not following our friend Obi-Wan, please give Obi-Wan a follow. Guitarist, variety gamer. So definitely give Obi-Wan a follow. And welcome in. Hopefully you're doing well. Good to see you. Let's see. What else? Blah blah blah. Da, da, da. So we did disclaimer, mod love. Thanked everybody. Okay, I think that's it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a finale trick, which I've selected would be this. I also don't like to end stream on a trick that I mess up on. So if I mess this up, we're gonna do another finale trick. But if I don't mess it up, then we'll find somebody to raid. So here we go. All right, so here we have a packet of cards. I've got like a 6 of diamonds here. We've got a queen of clubs here. And these will look normal, and these will look normal on the back. Because, look, these will look normal on the back. 1, 2, 3, 4. But when I turn them over, you're going to see something weird. You're going to see that some of them will have backs on both sides. Actually, all of them except for this one. This one is super weird. If I show you, this is a card that doesn't have a face on it. And so with these other 3 cards, they have a strange property where if I reflect them over one of these, so let's say I reflect it over the 6 of diamonds, actually all of these cards will become 6 of diamonds, because now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of diamonds. I know, super weird, right? But now if I take the same packet and I hover it over the queen of clubs, now if I hover it over the queen of clubs, that will actually reflect the queen of clubs. Actually, because all of these cards are now queens of clubs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Super strange, right? But actually, you can still see right now that they're all queens of clubs, right? However, if I take this card that's blank, and it's not until the blank side hits, then all of the cards become blank. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now some people are like, hey, let me see the backs of those. And I'm like, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that, my friends, I will call a successful performance of Dazed. Obi-Wan says, thanks, Crazy Asian. You're welcome, Obi-Wan. Also, for future reference, if anybody hops in and you want a shout out, I mean, I understand how hard it is to stream. It's a lot of work. I believe everybody should have as much support as they want, as they need. So let us know. We'll shout you out here. Thank you kindly for the claps. Felden Kane. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much, everybody, today. This was fun. I also recently came into a bunch of random tripods, so I might be changing some of my streaming setups for my other streams. So if I do a cooking or a Ubeat stream or something upstairs, then the camera setups might change. But otherwise, my setup down here for Magic right now, super solid. So I think this is good. Thank you kindly for the claps, Obi-Wan. Thanks for the stream, says Felden Kane. You're welcome, Felden Kane. Thanks for coming on in. And actually, Felden Kane, thanks for hanging out and enjoying the stream. So, FYI, if anybody is ever interested in learning magic or learning lockpicking or just general talking about nerdy, geeky stuff, I'm all up for that, because that's I love nerdy, geeky stuff. All right, let's see who's streaming. Oh, and we did our first promotion today on Twitch. I didn't. So that was cool too. I hadn't done one before. This was my first time. All right, let's see who is streaming and where we can go, or let me see. Oh, surprisingly, there's not that many people streaming tonight. There's actually, I posted some geeky stuff in my Discord. Awesome, thank you. I like nerdy geeky stuff. Yeah, I'll check them out. Internet Explorer, a more beautiful web. See. Oh yeah, that's right. If anybody wants to join the Discord, I know I said it earlier, but I didn't say it during my outro just now. I will announce when I go live in my Discord. So, Wait a second. Somebody just went live. All right. Let me. I also have, if it's not surprising to people, I have a stream spreadsheet. So let's see when the last time we rated several of our typical raid targets here. Let's see, the last time we rated, there's August. So what is it now? It's October. So that's over a month ago. And then how about this person? Okay, we haven't rated also since August. It looks like we're going to be rating somebody that we haven't rated since August. Okay. All right. Let me just open these just make sure they're still going.
Interesting.
Oh, I might have just given it away.
Oh, you don't know? It's
Oh, that's an ad. Okay, cool. Okay. Let me see here. All right, let's go ahead and raid into. Oh, let me see if it will work. All right, guys, we're going to be raiding our friend 7 Senshi because it allowed it. If you want to copy a raid call, here's a raid call. Here's a sub raid call. Here is the link if you get left behind. So we were able to meet 7 Senshi at TwitchCon Vegas a couple years ago in 2023. Anyway, 7 Senshi is a flautist and singer, plays the flute and sings, and is a fan of doing anime music, VGM, and very nice, very cool, and definitely very chill. And so, anyway, we're gonna raid over to her, and because they haven't stopped my raid yet. Kuyusai, thank you. TwitchCon, right? I'm actually not going to TwitchCon. Cyrus, I don't know if you know, I am currently unemployed, so I don't think going to a convention is the best choice for me right now. So, long story short. Me for 6 months now. Okay. So, yep, I'm gonna see what I could do with the online stuffs. Not sure why I'm still going, but I paid for all the. Well, I mean, yeah, I didn't pay for any of them because I also, yeah, that's a longer story. But anyway, all right. Great seeing everybody. Take care, everybody. Remember to hydrate. Remember to stretch, and remember to get good sleep because you have no idea when. So everybody have a glorious day. Have a glorious night. Sleep well. Take care. We'll see you around. All right. Bye.